Hey, what's going on, you guys? How's it going? It's Wednesday. Let me know if you guys can hear me when you get here so that I didn't get to test anything. How you guys doing today? It is Wednesday. Okay? Let me do my testing. Mic check 1, 2. Okay. Oh. It's Wednesday, y'all. We made it. June is coming to an end. I repeat, June is coming to an end. Let me see, where am I at? Let's see, can I hear? Oh, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, it works. Alrighty. Oh, wrong show. What am I doing? Y'all, I'm on the wrong show. Talking about, yeah, it works. Ain't that crazy? Pen. Isn't that crazy? I was like, y'all, why y'all ain't tell me that? I'm like, where am I at on here? Whole time. Ain't that what they say? Whole time. I'm on a whole nother show. Talking about, yeah, I can hear me. Oh, okay, I can hear me. You sound good. Okay, thank you. All right, you guys, say hi. Let me know where you're at. Okay, Bonita, I see you over there. You're on YouTube today. Say hello to me when you get in here, you guys. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Sharing is caring. Say something nice. And if you don't have anything else to say, you know what your mother said. Don't say anything at all. How you guys week? How's your guys week? I definitely hey girl, hey, we halfway to Friday. Yes, okay. Halfway to Friday. You guys share the show out for me. How's your guys' week going? It's just so funny because I got hit with so many different things in these last few conversations that I've had. And I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be something good to talk about. Yes. Oh, I heard somebody calling me. Hey, I'm here until Facebook is up. I didn't get the notification. So yeah, I've seen some people was telling me that they haven't been getting the notifications. Make sure that you're on. If you go to my profile, you want to make sure that your notification button is on. Okay, make sure that your notification button is on for my page, and you'll get notified when we go live. Because someone else said that. How you guys doing tonight? It's so many different things that I feel like I want to discuss because you guys tell me. So like, whew, okay, I'm excited. Because it's like out of nowhere, all these different conversations came at the end of the day. Okay. At the end of the day, I was talking about, detachment issues with one of my friends was like, why can't people just detach? Why is it so hard for people to detach, let go? Then I was talking about prison reform. And then I was also talking about discipline and all that good stuff. Okay. So say hello when you get here so I can see where you're watching from and what are you doing. But most importantly, how you guys doing? How is your week? Okay. How was your week? Okay. Hey, Jermaine the girl. Well, look who the devil done drug in. Hey, how you doing? How you guys week going? I keep asking y'all that because I need to know. Because I ain't seen nobody tell me how that week going. Except for goods not easy. Okay. It said, girl, we halfway to Friday. Okay. Um, and you guys, I completed my 30-day focus for a week. Okay. Shout out to me. Hand clap. I'm 1 week in, and I must say, today I was like a little different today. I got to meditate twice today. I had Bible study, all kinds of stuff. So y'all, I am live and in charge. You know what I mean? It was just something in me. I was like, I just want to sit here and chill with the Lord, see what Jesus is up to. Okay. And 7 days in. So we're 7 days in, and I'm super, super excited. All right. So say hello to me when you get here. We're 7 days in to the 30-day challenge. Let me know if you joined the challenge. Did you guys join the 30-day focus challenge that we did? Look, as I say, we did. I think I was the only one who joined it. The last time all of y'all joined me on the 50 days to greatness. So the 30 days of focus. Let me know. And it's not too late to join. Okay. And one thing I don't do, and I don't want you to do it. Stop waiting for somebody to do something for you to say you want to do it. If you want to go out, go out. Okay. Go to the bar by yourself, go out to eat by yourself, do all those different things. But oh, I did see something too that Carmelo now has a huge, allegedly. See, I don't know how true this is. Y'all know how it is. Let me pull it up. Y'all know I be a little leery about stuff on the internet because people be lying on the internet. Okay. But they say, okay, that a legal team is supposed to be like a dream legal team has volunteered to do a pro bono. Did you guys hear that? To do Carmelo Anthony's case. Let me pull it up so I can pull it up for y'all and show it to y'all. To do his case pro bono. So we're gonna see. This is why I say, and I call Instagram Insta lie, but the internet is a lie. What they say, smoking mirrors. Yeah, whatever that means. Um, yeah, so they're saying that Carmelo movement. Okay, okay. So are you doing the 30 days? Are you doing the 30 days with me? I said, hey, you go. My week has been good. That's awesome. What is it? How is your week? What is it that was good about your week? Why I look up Carmelo. Because they say that he got a dream team. Now I know I told y'all I couldn't talk about this before because it touches me too close to home. And when I say too close to home, it just sucks when you see people done wrong and you goddamn can't say nothing, okay? But I definitely have been praying for this young man. But I'm just gonna give y'all this update because we're gonna spread the positivity, okay? Hopefully they get all the evidence in, okay? For real, girl. It's just so much going on out here. What's on you guys' mind tonight that you want to talk about? Because y'all know I can go ahead and I can just go. What y'all want to discuss? Because I told you we were talking about like commitment. So new evidence has been released in his case. I want to pull it up before I put it over here with y'all for y'all to see it. Let me make sure I get all the articles. But just I'm feeling really good today. I'm feeling really, really good. I'm super excited. Hey Andre, how are you? Andre, I know you joined the show late last week. See, y'all, if you're new here, see, we family. I know everybody who come here and all of that. So Andre, did you join the 30-day challenge? The 30 day of focus? I want to know. Because so far it looked like it's just me. Okay, new lawyer, pro bono. See, this is how I'm saying. And you know what? You really can't trust that Instagram. Okay. All right, let me share the screen. Let's share the screen. Let's see. Let me make sure I take my OnlyFans down so y'all can't see that. All right, share the screen. Window. Which screen do I want to share? We're going to share this one. Because y'all, this is the one. Boop, boop. No, you didn't join this one. Oh, boo. It's like, okay. Yeah, she said, yeah, he has a new team. Yeah, so, damn, here, I think I'm sharing it. Boop. All right, here we go. All right. I feel like I'm loud, that don't mind me. It's just the energy, okay? I'm on, what is like, I'm on a luxury frequency, okay? So, yes, I hope so. He deserves it. He really does. So here we are. It says Carmelo gets a new legal team to take over his case pro bono for the appeal process. Now, I pray he gets the appeal process. I really do. Okay. And I pray he does as well. So we'll see. They're saying that the new lawyers are going over every testimony, everything that's on there. They're going over, they're going to look at all the video footage and everything. So yes, shout outs to Carmelo if he gets this overturned. This was just ridiculous. And I pray that he gets out of it. Okay. You said, let me hold something. Let me see what else. Let me hold something from that OnlyFans. Girl, listen, make it clap. What they say, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Okay. But girl, we got to get it how we leave. I told y'all can share the show out, contribute, because we got to get some new equipment in here. I need a desk. And in a minute, I'm about to be on here like, girl, shake that leffy taffy. That leffy taffy. But I think Facebook might take me down. Might take me down. Um, what else? Okay. So that's the Carmelo thingy, right? What do y'all want to get into tonight? Do we want to get into commitment issues, lack thereof, self-improvement? Let me see. Let me hold on my nerves. Girl, what you say? You say they listening, let them know I'm trying to go to the casting couch, okay? I'm trying to go to the casting couch. Oh my goodness, did y'all see something recently where Oprah and Whitney Houston now here's the thing, right? Apparently Oprah said that Whitney Houston almost knocked her off the stage when she was at like some summit. Did you guys see that? And Whitney Houston people is clapping back. They said Whitney Houston's estate has clapped back. I was like, now, it's terrible. Like they just keep bringing these people up. But here we are, though, right? You know how some of y'all feel about Nicki Minaj. But listen to this. Remember, y'all probably don't remember, but I'm gonna catch y'all up. So Nicki Minaj has said through over the last couple of years, how when there's things that's being covered up and need to be done, how Jay-Z, you'll see Jay-Z pop out with his wife, you'll see Will Smith surface, and then it goes quiet, and then she said, and then you'll also see where a celebrity passes away. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? However, everything that lady done said for the last 2 years, have you guys seen that it actually happened? Did you guys see that? Whitney was on her show. Yeah, let me pull it up. Y'all know, look, y'all. And I'm saying that to say, when I saw Will Smith and Jada Pinkett the other day on Instagram, I was like, oh damn. We know we ain't seen them together since the Red Table Talk. She just went on this whole tour. Remember? She just went on this whole He-Man Woman Hater tour. Okay. What am I trying to find for you guys? I want to find this. And then a celebrity passed away. Are you guys keeping up? Did you catching what I'm putting down? Right? And I don't know. Because I'm trying to get up there with them people. I'm about to show you. I'm trying to put it up. And I was like, God damn. It makes you go, It makes you go, Or it made me go, if you've been keeping up with everything. Because a celebrity just passed away. Somebody famous or whatever. Just the producer. The producer just passed away. He did all the beats, some beats for Drake. And somebody else passed away. I was like, yeah, this lady, I think she on to something. And then Jay-Z popped out with Beyonce because they say, I don't know, I don't want to put my mouth on nobody, but I'm gonna put my mouth on somebody because I don't keep up with that. So I don't think Beyonce used that damn hair product. Okay, let's keep it real. Everything comes to selling something to the public, right? This is why I like to try things for myself, and I'm not just getting anything just because a celebrity stamped it and put their names on it. Okay, so now after all these years I don't even know what it is. Is it Sacred has been out? Because remember she got sued for the packaging of it. The company sued her like, wait a minute, you took our stuff. And now all of a sudden, Jay-Z got a video washing his hair where she washing his hair. It's like, you guys got to pay attention to this stuff. And I'm not even getting into the conspiracy portion of it, right? I'm just talking about pay attention to, how they had, Serena Williams is like one of the faces for like the GLP-1 shots, aka Ozempic is what I call it. She's an athlete. It's like, come on, this lady is already fit. She's, she ain't doing all this, but we don't know, you never know. These people are getting endorsed to do this type of stuff. So here we are. Now, after all these years, there's a video. Beyonce didn't put a video out of her getting her hair done with her own products until everybody came after her on the internet. And she really did it after Tasha K had said fans are upset that, they don't see Beyonce using her product. Remember how everybody says that Beyonce and them are capitalists and they only put up stuff and do things when they're trying to make money off of it. Yep, men wear fake locks too. Right. And so here we are at this point. Now there's this video. So after they started fussing about her not using her product and how she just always just trying to sell people stuff, she did a video. She did one video getting her hair done with her shampoo, and she does a voiceover. Okay. Now here we are some years later. Now you see Jay-Z. Okay. Talking about it, I guess to prove that, hey, that was his hair. He didn't wear a wig. I don't know, this, that, and the third. Okay. So we go through that. And now they are just going with the flow. And I just feel like they're just trying to sell everything to the public for this unity, for, not letting think anything is wrong. Because there's definitely some stuff going on because there is too many lawsuits going on up there. What y'all think? To where as though these people keep ducking and dodging some stuff. So I said all that to say, what they say, you gotta be careful and pay attention to the inner lie, okay? The inner lie, aka the internet. But I said, okay, here we go. I said, what Nicki Minaj said gotta have some truth to it because everything she said over the last 2 years is happening now. All right, so here we are. Whitney Houston Estates addresses Oprah comments about Whitney's final talk show. From the 2009 interview on Oprah Winfrey Show, Whitney absolutely fell on stage, but it was during a sound check. And it was due to the darkness of the area and her unfamiliarity with the stage. She was absolutely not high. Now, my question is, why is she now wanting to tell this story? Like, do you guys think that when people pass away, they should no longer be spoken on? Like, what do you guys think? But her estate is pushing back with the claims, as she made a statement at Pat Houston, said Whitney did fall off the stage during a 2009 soundcheck, but insisted it was due to poor lighting and her unfamiliarity with the stage. The estate acknowledged Whitney's past struggle with addiction, but said it is unfair to assume every incident in her life was related to substance abuse. The response comes after Oprah called Whitney's final appearance on her show while accepting the Lionheart Award at the Canes, claiming the singer had recently relapsed and fell off the stage. Oprah said she asked the audience not to take photos or discuss the incident out of concern for Whitney Houston's well-being. So then my question is, right, why are you discussing it now? See, this is how people play. You went through all of this to have your staff. See, y'all got to read in between lines. You went through all of this to have your staff, okay, and your people who were your guests at this event to not take photos, not to mention it, only for you to come out decades later to mention it. Yeah, the hypocrisy of it all, right? Andre said yes because they can't defend themselves. Okay, so you feel like let me get some more stuff. Okay, so you feel like, leave people who are deceased out of the conversations. Okay, I can see that. Hey CJ, well, look who the cat drug in. How are you? How are you doing? He said, hey, what's up, y'all? Okay, so Here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. At what point, I don't know. Is it fair? Put yourself in these shoes. Whether you have a drinking problem, a drug problem, a cheating problem, a lying problem, or you just were all out an outside person. Is it fair for you to have a bad moment and people automatically assume it's from your addiction or whatever your relapse is? Is that fair? Or is that like a preset assumption? You know what I mean? Is it? I forgot the words we made up here. I forgot the words we made up here. Because of the simple fact that why would you bring this up now? And a lot of times is even if things are true about people, yeah. Oh look, Sharanda said it. Well, they say Oprah is a puppet. Questions about the timing. Questionable. Yes, it's very questionable. It's very questionable. You know what I mean? And we are consumed by what we see. So it's like why is this narrative being pushed, right? Why is this narrative starting? Like, why is this relevant? But I think it's just because there's a lot of things that's going on with like I guess like the elections, the presidents. Like, I don't know, y'all. Is this a part of the smoky mirrors? See, I don't know about the smoky mirrors. Um, hey, Tranda, he said, I'm not really sure. Like, define smoky mirrors. Let's get into that because these are all things I know nothing about. Because I feel like this. I don't feel like there's smoking mirrors. Don't shoot me. The only reason why I say I don't feel like there's smoking mirrors is because I, individual self, I don't believe everything that's on the internet. I think that people who believe everything on the internet, it may be a little smoking mirror because they want to believe. I don't know. Y'all can call it and let me know if y'all want to. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it because I don't use it. Could it be somehow be linked to Clyde Davis? That's the other person. Thank you. That's the other person. Clyde Davis passed away the other day. Mm-hmm. So this goes back to everything that Nikki was saying. So even if it wasn't the producer, Clyde Davis has now passed away. Will Smith and them are now back in the public eye and now holding hands, and she looking like she's just pissed at the world. Did y'all see that? Um, so it's one of those things. Um, it's like at what point do people no longer see you for who you are, right? And when I say this is, I would tell you guys, do not call-ins. You want to do the call-ins? All right, I'm gonna put the links down here. I'm gonna put the link in here for y'all to call in, and you can just do audio as well, and you don't have to have your face on camera if you don't want to. Okay, but at what point it's not okay to continue to judge a person based upon the chapter of their life you walked in on. Do y'all agree with that? If you come in a chapter of my life, right? This is why I feel like transparency. I do feel like transparency is different from honesty. I feel like transparency is just something that you give voluntarily, right? With no questions asked. Honesty is more if I'm asking you questions, if we're talking about things, then I'm asking you something that you have to be honest about, right? So I recommend it all. But the thing here is if you meet somebody and they're having like a rough patch in life, right? And I'm thinking, I know y'all perfect. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all ain't never experienced that. But I have met some people in different phases of my life, different seasons, right? And I'm expressive, so I have to share, right? And this is why it's important to, You have to own who you are and know who you are, and got to be comfortable with yourself, because you never know. Sometimes you could be venting to somebody, or somebody could come in on your life when you're in a doing, going through different seasons, and then they want to feel like, oh, they may have some dirt on you, or they want to expose you. That's the word of the last decade, expose. Or they just feel like they don't see you past the situation that you're in. Like, once a bum, always a bum. Bum bum. Things like that. Okay, so you said you agree, Andre. And so it's like, don't judge me. If you meet me, like, okay. Fun fact. Outside of that. So it was one of those situations where, like, some years ago, like, I've always been who I am, right? But years ago, once I stopped being no longer was a police officer and things like that, my baby's daddy, it was almost like he looked at me or was treating me like I was just this baby mother he knocked up around the corner and didn't know. You know what I mean? Something like that. And it's like, nigga, if I'm telling you, you got to pay or foot the bill for this or give money for this, did you not forget that, nigga, I lost my job behind you? You understand? I'm not upset. This is past. I'm just trying to tell you all the story. So it's like, okay, you go through that, and it's like, damn, I don't live off the system. I didn't live off the system. I didn't take advantage of people. Like, what it is. Even case in point, the guys who want the baddie, right? You want this influencer, you want this baddie, but you don't want to fit the bill for what it takes to keep this baddie. You meet her, you'll meet a chick and you see she Gucci down from head to toe, right? And all she eat is at 5 and 6 and 7-star restaurants while y'all together. This is how you met her. And then when y'all break up or y'all getting divorced, you mad that she asked you for the freaking $80,000 a month in spousal support. When you met her, she was an $80,000 spousal person already without you, right? So it's like, don't judge somebody based upon the chapter of their life that you walk in on. Because you may be down today, you may be in between tomorrow, and you might be right on top. They say the saying goes, the people you see going up are also the people you see coming down. I ain't trying to find that one out, okay? But it's almost as if, I got to put the link in for you guys to call in. But it's almost like, is that something that we do subconsciously? Judge people based upon where they are in life when we show up and meet them. It is. It's really important. It's really important. And as I get older and as I experience life more, it's like, I didn't know how important it was. You young, you think you know everything, you don't want to hear it. But it's so important. And I know for me, I always tell people, like, I'm not the same person I was yesterday, because think about it. Today is a new day. Everything you did yesterday is in the past. You can't go back there. We can't go get it. We can't. This is why I'm doing this 30 days of focus and trying to focus on this focus. Okay. Because it's a new day. If every day we wake up, it's a new day and we get a different opportunity to have a new day, why do we always think about yesterday? Why do we always think about and ponder on yesterday if today is a new day? And according to, not according, but per God, Jesus standards, the Lord standards, God standards, it's just every day is the same time. It's just one day. God is not up there like, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. Everything is just as one. We are the ones who made days of the week and all that other stuff. And put this holiday here, put that holiday there, right? So it's just like, should we live in yesterday? So if yesterday is the past, right? And today's a new day, then we really should be just focusing on the day and not even bring up shit from yesterday. So if that's the case, the saying goes, you woke up today to get another chance to get it right. right? Because you never know when the day may be your day, right? Then if you never know when the day is going to be your day, then don't even think about yesterday because you can't do nothing about yesterday. But you can make something different and do something about today. So it's like when we start to set our mind and our focus on the future, right? And on the things that we can control, then I believe everything else will get lighter, right? What you think? Everything else will get lighter. There will be nothing to I'm putting a link in the comments for you guys if you guys wanted to call in. There would be nothing to worry about. And although the Bible does say, don't worry about yesterday troubles of the day because tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. Okay, I was trying to stop screen sharing. So, if that's true, why don't we always think forward? And I ain't gonna lie, it'd be hard. We conditioned to always look back and lose focus on what's ahead. That is so true. But where did that conditioning come from? Because we like to put everything back to slavery, right? Not me, but some of y'all. Maybe you. Is some of the things that we were taught and instilled in us still relevant to this day? If you are now aware and know that you can change it. So this is how my brain goes. And this is why I always try to do what Trumanda put in the comments. Finding yourself is important. And I put the link there if you guys want to come in. Society. Okay. So the pressures of society, you think is it the pressures of society or the pressure of the school system and things of that nature, right? And it's just like, y'all, I've told y'all, I've been feeling really good since I have began to get back focused. And I don't even know what that looks like. But for the first time, I don't even care what it looks like. I'm not trying to figure out and know and control what it's going to look like. Because as me and one of my friends were talking earlier, and if you guys that are on YouTube, could you do me a favor and give this live video a thumbs up, please? For all of you guys that are on YouTube, thumbs up. And if you're new to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, okay? New to the show, share the show. Follow us on all platforms. And if you want to call in and get in and verbally have the discussion, feel free to do so. The mic is hot. He wants to keep you in yesterday so you won't focus on the future. Who want to keep you in yesterday? Oh, I missed the comment. That's the devil that do that. The author of confusion. Yeah, he is the author of confusion, but also too though, CJ, right? Can we blame everything on the devil? Right? Like at what point do we, because we don't like taking accountability. At what point do we say, no, that wasn't the devil, that was me. I did that. That wasn't the best choice. That wasn't the best thing. That wasn't nice to say. Are we cursing people out because the devil made you curse somebody out? Are we being liars and condescending and mean to people? Are we, you don't see the link? I'm putting it back in here. I could probably tag it too. It's like when do we go against society? Because think about it, as a parent, right? For you guys who are out there who are parents, I'm not sure, but it is very difficult to, especially if you're a single parent, to be that soft parent all the time. I know how with society is and the culture and how everyone go to prison and leave it up to America. All the black babies that are in prison is because of they grew up with a single mother. This is not what I feel, but this is what we talking about. Society feels, right? And it's like, at what point do we say, I laid down and I had these children. I didn't wear the condom. I chose wrong. Yeah, I chose her. Now, I ain't gonna never tell you to be with nobody for the sake of the kids. I will never tell anybody that. I do not support that, because the kids got to grow up. And I'd be damned if I'm gonna be miserable again for some children that's gonna grow up and then drive you crazy because they gonna date everybody you don't like, do what they want to do, and then you sitting here stuck to their daddy or their mother, all for the sake of that word family. Nope, not I, said the cat. But I do think that um, if people tell you they don't want babies, protect yourself. If he say he don't want it and you keep it, baby girl, you in for a long ride. You know what I mean? It's just like we have to just start taking accountability and making better choices, because we know that sometimes children reveal people's true character and who they are. And I think the thing is like this: when this is how we should start going into relationships. Give me a heart and a thumbs up. And I did put the link there. Um, Let me pin it. I think we have to start remembering that when we go into relationships, that we are individuals outside of the relationship. We are individuals, but we come together. But we're still separate people. Some people take on the identity of the person that they're in a relationship with. I think that is like one of the worst things you could do. But we're individuals. And I think if once we look and learn and know, like Tremaine said, get that understanding of self, do the work on self, then when you meet somebody else and y'all get together, right, you'll be able to recognize that, hey, he don't got to spend all his time with me. She don't have to spend all her time with me. You know, um, it's okay for him to like tomatoes and I don't like tomatoes. You'll begin to start to appreciate the differences. And like me and one of my friends were talking about earlier, it was like I said to you guys earlier, she was like, yo, why is it so hard for people just to detach? She's something like a thug, you know what I'm saying? She don't love these hoes. But but she like, why is it so hard for people to detach? Like, you just need to get the hell over it, be done with it, and things like that. And we were talking, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. But you got to think about with the detachment. Some of us have abandonment issues. I know I did. And I was telling her that, like, I overcame them a lot. It used to be hard, difficult, and challenging. Now it's a what was the word I used earlier? It's a nudge or something like that. I'm better at detachment than what I was before. I've gotten better. Wasn't always that, but I've also done the work and been doing the work to continue to pray and work on my abandonment, right? Then, the conversation was, if somebody is on the phone with their partner, you guys tell me this, what you guys think? If somebody is on the phone all day long with the person that they're in a relationship with, she was like that, she had a conversation with someone and he was like, well, we were on the phone all the time because she was insecure. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? That's good. Because I said, because me and another friend, we had this second part of the conversation. But keep up, y'all. Keep up. Y'all tell me what y'all thoughts on this stuff. And I put the link. I'm trying to see if I can pin the link. You probably have to catch the link in the comments because it's on Facebook and YouTube as well. This is the link where you'll be able to catch it. Or I can just send it to you individually as well for those who ask for it. But, she was like, he was like, well, she was insecure and this is why I had to be on the phone. And I don't like when people blame the situation on one person. I do believe sometimes the relationship can end and things can go wrong and they can be one-sided. I totally do believe that is possible to a degree, right? But on the other side of that, me and my other friend, I'm going to send it to you guys in your inbox. Me and my other friend, we have these conversations often, and the point was very valid. And it's like, yeah, When you meet somebody, right? You aren't instantly, oh, hold on. What he's saying, he's always lurking, but it's our job to take accountability. His job is to keep us there. Absolutely. Tremanda said, there's nothing wrong with people standing up for accountability, but a lot of times people are so young, they have no clue of real life until they're sitting in the middle of it. Baby, real life. Look, I'm grown as hell. And when I tell you sitting in the middle of life at this big grown age be having me like, nigga, what is going on? Like, why has thou forsaken me for real? You know what I mean? They'd be like, yo, this got to be a test. I got to be tripping. All types of things. That's how my brain goes. But my other friend, we were like, look, when you meet somebody, you aren't instantly thinking they're lying, right? When you're hanging out or you're dating somebody, everything is all good when you meet somebody new for the first time or whatever the case may be, right? You don't start to get a cause to pause, doesn't come into the situation unless something has changed, right? So when I was having this conversation earlier, and she was saying that the guy said, well, she was insecure, things like this. And she was like, well, if you're just that insecure and got to be on the phone with somebody all day long, y'all need to just break up. Like, ain't that much insecurity and stuff in the world. And that's when, the conversations again about the attachment and abandonment came in. But I was like, yo, I beg to differ, because I can guarantee you there's something he left out about how it got like that. Because when you meet a person, you're not instantly leery of them. The only time, this is just my thoughts, right? But think about it. You guys tell me. The only time you really become leery of a person is after you guys have spent some time, and you may be like, wait a minute, are we moving too fast? You might get that, and we moving too fast. I really, really like them, because us really liking somebody will have us jump into some stupid decisions. You know what I mean? Or you didn't do the work on yourself, and so your abandonment issues or your insecurities from previous relationships or your baggage from prior relationships, you bring it to something new, and it's like, hold up, wait a minute, it is. And then you may have somebody, this is why they say this is why the Bible says it's always important to speak to somebody wise and have somebody wise around you, because you got to be able to sometimes do that self-check-in, like, hold on, is this me or is this Deontay? Because Deontay ain't do nothing for me to feel like he lying already, but damn, I didn't already had a relationship with a bunch of liars or a bunch of cheaters. So, we say, be the energy you want to attract, right? So somewhere in your story of life, because then the word history is his story, her story is her story. You know what I mean? So somewhere in your story, these are the relationships and the interactions that you continue to attract. So you have to become the energy and be on the luxury frequency to attract, because ultimately we attract who we are in some form, way, shape, or fashion. You may do things differently. You may do things the same, but it's something in you that is attracting this. And the problem comes in that we don't sit and pray to work on the issue that we keep attracting. We just pray to get over it and go somewhere else, versus saying, I don't want to keep, why is it that the last 5 dudes I had did X, Y, and Z? Well, why did the last 3 relationships I was in or the women I married, none of them cooked? But it's like, whoa, you got to go back and look within. You got to go look within to really see where the issue lies, because there's a root to everything. And you can change the relationship, you can change the job, you can change the friendships, you can change the baby daddies, you can change the cars, the clothes, you can change the states, the schools. But the one thing you can't change is you. You take you everywhere you go. So you have to do the work on you, right? Because you can change you. But if you're taking the same you to all these different locations, you're not changing you. You're just changing the things around you. You feel me? So it's like, when do we be like, I'm the problem? I'm the problem? What is it with me? I'm the problem. So that's why I said earlier, CJ, I'm just going to send you guys the link. I'm going to try to give it to you. That's why I said earlier, CJ, like, yo, it's the enemy. He is very busy. Yeah, he comes to steal, seek, kill, and destroy. But at what point do we say, no, this is my shit? This is my shit. I laid down and made all these different children. I knew I wanted a family, and this is not how it panned out. And I know I can't control what all the kids decide to do, or the women that decide to have the children. But I always found it funny that a man men can say, and you guys can answer that, help me with that. A man can say he cannot control the fact that the outside woman kept the babies, but he can control his main woman and tell her to get rid of the baby and make sure she get rid of it and go with her to get rid of it. It just don't make sense to me. It just don't make sense to me. It don't be making sense to me. So it's like, nah. Just like when a person be like, oh, I care, or when baby, and I think this does go with society, okay? Because baby boy, I used to love baby boy, but when I sat and I looked at baby boy, y'all, I challenge you, if you're doing the work on yourself, if you want to do better, you want to see better, and you just want to become better, go re-look at some of the movies or shows you've watched. At this grown age, I see a whole different perspective. Like, there was no reason that my little ass should have been watching Waiting to Exhale. At that age when Waiting to Exhale came out. I was like, yo, you don't know what you're putting into your mind and what you're programming and what's affecting it until you know. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I was like, there's no reason. It was cheating in there. Whitney Houston was messing with him. He's a good man, Savannah. But we got to see what goes on today. Oh, look, somebody found a link. The mother wanted Whitney Houston, well, aka Savannah, to continue to deal with him, even though he didn't want to divorce his wife. He kept telling her he was going to divorce his wife. But every time it came time for him to divorce the wife, he couldn't divorce the wife because the wife now she got sick. Y'all remember? Like, if we really, I know we do not like Tyler Perry. I know y'all do not like Tyler Perry. But a lot of these movies and things that are going on, there are messages in them, and it's real life. Maybe not all of it, but it's real life. You had Robin Gibbons was bad. Back then, what they call them, 90s fine. She was beautiful. She was like the head of a company, or if she wasn't the head of the company, she had a high stature, right? But she couldn't keep a relationship. Then when she fell for the dude who was the cornball, right? Who all thought, I can't remember his name, but who all thought he was going to be with her? He was like, I want a house with a picket fence in something Dale, right? Nobody thought that as fine as she was, he damn sure wasn't the guy she would have went after. He definitely was not her type after we got to see what Lance looked like. And he dogged her too. Or he ain't do her right? Because sometimes the clown just wants to be connected to you. Or just to be able to say they had you. So he wanted to see that he could get her. That's what I think. This is not it. But the point is, she was a successful woman who couldn't find a relationship. Gloria was a single mother who found out her baby father ended up being gay. Hello? Some of your baby fathers out there taking it in the shaboinka butt now. This stuff be real. Baby boy, I thought that all relationships were supposed to have ups and downs, fight. You had a baby, y'all do this. And then next thing you know, you end up getting a ring. We are taught to stay in chaos and trauma, no matter how painful, because on the other side of the reward of guilt being a ride or die is a wedding ring. Come on now. I'm just saying, look at the shit that influences us. Just like Trina said, becoming the energy you want to attract is the byproduct of self-work. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I finally decided to shut up. Let me
Huh.
st- let me turn the value. Let me bring that microphone down. You guys, can you hear the guest? Can you guys hear him? Can you hear him?
Testing, testing. One, two, three.
Testing, testing. One, two.
All right.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can hear you. Cause you know they be moving slow in the chat.
You can hear me?
Well, first of all, I gotta turn the volume on my own thing. I can hear you, but I want to make sure that they can hear you.
All right.
Oh, I can hear you.
All right.
Oh, you sound good.
Oh man,
Let me
I'm
see.
glad I sound good because I don't feel good.
Oh, well, I want to send you. Okay, I can hear you.
No, no,
Okay, they
not
said
like
they can
that.
hear you.
I'm just tired for real. Ain't nothing like that. I'm just tired.
Okay. So you
But
called in today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here.
well, you know,
What's going on?
all right. It's a bunch of things, but I'm gonna just stick with the one that's at the top of my head before I forget everything. The baby thing, right? It made me think about a conversation we was having at work not too long ago. And one of the guys said that it need to be a rule in the law that say if a man gets somebody pregnant, y'all deal with each other, and beforehand he say, I don't want to take care of no kids. If you get pregnant, I don't want it, so don't keep it. If that's what he tell a woman and she decide to take it upon herself anyway and keep it, then he shouldn't be held liable to take care of the child. And I told him, I get what you're saying because what you're saying is, all right, you told this woman you don't want to be no father beforehand. So if she, all right, quote unquote trying to be smart and control the situation to say, all right, well, I'm gonna keep it anyway. It ain't the man's responsibility because he already said up front, look, I don't want that. While I understand it,
Hmm.
I don't agree with that.
So my thing is, did you guys heard him and you guys chime in what you think? Why, if a woman keeps a baby and you say you don't want it, why is it deemed as she's being smart? Right? Why is it looked at as though that's being smart? She's having a baby to be smart. And
Sim-
on top of that, right? Why is it that it's wrong for somebody to simply just want their baby? All women are not abortion and clinic bound.
that's because people be selfish and forget that it takes two to tango. First of all, and
And
no
three to
matter
mango,
and three.
whatever that is.
See, people get this thing where they want to make the game cater to them and how they want to play it instead of knowing that this is a game where everybody's included and everybody shares a piece of this thing. If you commit the act that leads to a child, at the end of the day, no matter what you say, that's still your child. If she want to keep it, that it's nothing wrong with that. See, people want to guilt you into not doing what they want you to do. All right, you ain't want no kids. That means you got to take accountability and not do the act. See, niggas want to nut so bad they don't want to. They want to. They want the feeling and not the consequence. If you so adamant or you so 10 toes down on not wanting a child, the only way you can guarantee that outcome is not have sex. But nobody want to do that though.
So Andre
And
said, I will never get with that. He can use a condom. We know what will happen having unprotected sex.
that's my point. But that's the part that dudes don't want to pick up and carry. You want to have the sex, you want to play the role, you want to have the fun. But then when the serious part happened, now is I told you I ain't want to have it. But you ain't tell her that you ain't want to have it with your actions though. Your actions said you was with the shits. You
Mm,
feel what I'm saying?
better come through. They tremendous say, yes, caller. Yes, caller. Yeah,
Jeez.
I definitely do. See, I'm on the fence with it. Okay, you guys, I know you probably shoot me. I'm not just going to agree with women because I'm a woman, but I'm also abortion prone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know what I was supposed to say, pro-choice or some shit. But over here, I'm abortion prone. I do believe in abortions. And I don't believe I wouldn't call it pro-choice. I would call it pro your life. Do what the fuck
Yeah.
is best for your life, right?
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. Like,
But
all
I
right.
do, but I do because children come about in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I do agree with him on the yo. If I tell you I don't want these kids and you had these kids, don't come to me to help you with these
That's
kids.
why I said I get that part. I do get that.
Like, and I know somebody gonna be like, I know somebody about to say, but the children are innocent. I'm not talking about that. Fuck them kids. That's not what I'm talking about here, right? Like we ain't on that side of it yet, right? Just the point of, yo, think about it. Even ladies, think about if every guy you slept with, the guy you was just going out to eat with, the guy that just was going to Pound Town, anybody that you just was having fun with, right? And this is what I be saying. Sometimes I don't think women see it this way. Sometimes think about it. If everybody you dealt with, whether it was from the first time you got your virginity taken or anything like that, people who broke your heart in college or whatever, the people you see now that is like ain't doing nothing. Imagine if every guy you slept with that you didn't intend on being in a committed relationship, you were just there having a good time, not a long time, decided to have your baby. And now you are stuck with them.
Mhm.
You will be like, yo,
Damn.
you was just cool to club and hang out with. I was over here just trying to escape from my reality going in the house with the wife and all the damn kids and the dogs and or I was just over here because me and my girl got the beefing. I ain't know I was gonna come over here and get stuck. Could you
And
imagine?
that's why,
You know what I
that,
mean?
and
So it's
that's why you need to stay where you at. If you got a situation, that's why. And this is an unpopular opinion. Dudes ain't gonna agree with me. I don't care about that. That's why, if whatever you and your girl got
ain't
going
nothing
on,
wrong.
stay there and work it out. Or if it's that bad, break up with her and then go do your thing. That's how I see it. Maybe because I ain't never been no cheater. Cause to me, that just don't make sense. That's how you get yourself caught up in situations that you don't need to be, or put extra stuff on yourself and complicate things with other extra parties that ain't even gotta be like that. And then at the end of the day, you want to blame everybody else. No, you did that. They
Yeah,
she mad and she mad and she mad, but at the end of the day, that's you.
yeah.
You did that.
Ooh, do anybody else want to chime in and get on the three-way of this convo? Melna said, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for it, but I also feel like men should have a choice too. We always put the blame on men for not using a condom, but you also let the nigga up in you raw. So
That's
do we
also
just
fact.
blame him because he got a penis?
That's also facts though, because she ain't had to let him in. She could have said, "No, we ain't doing it if you ain't got no condom." But she won nut too. So hey, that's facts though. I agree.
Yeah, but couldn't we also be like, yo, get on birth control, get a vasectomy? Like,
That
can we
yeah,
can
see
we
that go both
can we
ways too.
also like because I definitely agree. Like everybody should have a choice.
That
But
go
can
both
we
ways too.
also but can we also stop making it the woman's responsibility to be the only one taking extra precaution besides just birth condoms and birth control? If you know that you don't want to have kids or you this and that, at what point do you say, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and get a vasectomy?
And I ain't nobody snipping nothing over here. That's why
See,
whatever
that's
I
that's that's
do,
part of the Negro
and
culture
it's
problem.
not. But that's no. But look, that's what I'm saying. Though, see, this is me. I take full accountability and responsibility for my actions, though. I know I don't want no more kids, but if I want to lay down with somebody that bad and I'm committed to doing that action and a kid pop out of it, guess what? If you decide to have it, that's cool because I know I made that. So I got to take care of it no matter what my life look like and how much I ain't ready for no kid. All right, I did that. It's mine. But if you decide not to have it, that's totally up to you. I'm everything that I say, I'm speaking from
I'm gonna
experience.
send you the link, Andre. He said I need the link. CJ, tell the people how you found the link in the comments.
I just clicked on it. It was right there, and I clicked it.
Okay, well, you know what, y'all? That's the Black people help desk. He said he just clicked it. I'm trying to get y'all
Yeah,
to the thing.
yeah, everything that I'm talking, I'm speaking on experience. My first situation. All right, to be totally transparent, right? I don't agree with abortions no more. Once upon a time, it ain't even make no difference to me. But the first time me and my child's mother did the abortion thing, it was all right, cool, whatever.
I sent
That's
you
what
the
it
link
is.
in your inbox.
It is what it is. But as years went by and I learned things and started to see life in different aspects, I ain't look at abortion the same way no more. So I made a vow to myself that if I ever get somebody pregnant again, I'm not saying out my own mouth to get rid of that baby. If you have it, I'm taking care of it because I did that. If you choose to get rid of it, then that's totally your choice. I'm not going to force you to do or not do anything because that's because of the way that I see it now. If I lay down and made it, I'm taking care of it regardless. I don't care even with you, your mother, nobody gotta say. There's nothing you can do to stop me from taking care of my kid. I don't care how
So,
fucked up
but
in
so
life
that
I am.
comes with, but that comes with what we talk about all the time, the change of your mindset. You got to change your mindset and how you
Yeah, and
see,
that's exactly what happened.
when everybody isn't there. So I definitely get what Melena said, because we do have to stop just blaming the man just because he has a penis, and you do have to take a look at yourself. But I do think that men, first of all, we have to realize that is a lot of worse shit you could get from having sex unprotected than the
Oh,
baby.
absolutely. We forget
Like,
about that.
let's make that clear.
Absolutely.
The baby is the last thing, right? But outside of that, I do feel like, when you go to be intimate with somebody, you're not nobody is in the heat of the moment saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get pregnant." Now, I ain't gonna lie, you might be in the heat of the moment, get in and be like, "Boy, you better pull out. Don't you know that, man?" You
Uh-huh.
may do something, y'all know how the conversation gonna stop playing. And then sometimes you have a moment where it's get to feeling too good and you don't want a motherfucker pull out. Like, let's keep
Yeah,
it real, right?
that's where they come from.
You're not thinking about that, right? In the heat of the moment, you're not thinking of that. Some people do, though. Shout outs to y'all. But at the same time, it's like, yo, if you don't want kids, as this comment says, when you're real about how you feel, stand on it, protect yourself at all times, because you control no one else. You only control yourself. So at the end of the day, when this is a possibility and it occurs and it happens, right? You have to be like, damn, you might not like it, but you did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is what you have to deal with, right? But when do we all just take accountability for the part we play? I definitely do. I feel like if somebody tell you they don't want the kids and you go ahead and you hit a kid, like, baby girl, you might as well just strap in, buckle up. This is gonna be a long ride.
Right.
And,
Don't
and,
expect
and
them to
don't
do
get me
nothing.
wrong,
Said
it's
that.
not fair to the kids. It's not.
Right.
Take the kids out. Like, it's really not. I definitely would put myself in those shoes, because I used to feel like I didn't care what my baby father did, how many kids he had. He better take care of mine. And
Right.
then once the relationship ended and he stopped taking care of mine, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, this shit ain't cool. Hold on,
Yeah, that's another thing too. People
let's see
be
how this
connecting the
go, right?
kids with the mothers.
Yeah. So, Andre, it said that your device wasn't connected. You got to try again. So I totally get that too. So I feel like when you go into a situation and you knowing what it is, and you know that it may be a one night stand or something that just happened, like you just have to be cautious, because then next time I'll be looking at you like, bitch, why you ain't wearing no condom? You
Mm.
just out here, right? So it's a whole thing that goes into it. But at the same time, it is like, yo, it may not be right. And yes, kids are innocent. And yes, it's a shitty situation to bring life into. But I told you I wasn't going to be here. I told you I didn't want that. The problem is we have to start believing people even when it feels good. Like
So enough.
believe no matter how much fun, but no matter how many times y'all together, you have I think us women, all right, y'all we're probably about to shoot me. I think us women, we always get it in our mind at some point that we can change the man's opinion, his one, his thoughts. What
Yeah,
we
I can
think.
believe that.
And it's like, no, because you have to think about it. When you are also sleeping with somebody, right? When we go to do, right? And kids are made, right? At the end of the day, it's like, yo, it could be feeling good. And then you be like, you gonna have my baby. You got the ones that tell you they want you to have a baby.
Yo, that's crazy, yo. Cause and sometimes dudes do that on purpose because it's like a mind game. Because
Yeah.
they
It's,
don't want
it's
the
like the
girl to
sex
go
talk.
nowhere.
You say, don't Future got us all like that. We talk the slick talk. Oh, it's slick talk. I said sex talk. Lord. Um, but it's those things. It's like we have to also not act like that when you're dealing with somebody and you're constantly seeing them, and you guys do talk and you guys do share conversations and have these things. We have to stop acting like that we aren't discussing these things. You know what I mean? People do lie about being on birth control and things like that, but at the same time, it's like, yo, all right, well, you could go from saying, man, if you have a baby, I'm gonna take care of it, and then you had a baby and the nigga don't take care of it. Like that happens. Or
Yeah.
you plan to have a baby, and then you a two-parent household, but it's a single household. You're a single mom. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
The father's not present, you know? So it's one of those things where it's like we have to not act like when these things occur that people probably aren't having these conversations, because I believe that people who have conceived these little children at some point during that interaction, whether prior, before, after, or during, baby girl and baby boy showed you signs that they was going to keep these kids.
No, but that's the thing though, Candace. Everybody ain't paying them signs no mind. The signs is always there. That's something I learned growing up and
Yes.
going through
But like
certain
I said, I
situations.
also feel like two things can be right and wrong at the same time. Oh, explain that one. Because I kind of feel like that. That goes to the saying, both things can be true.
That's true though.
Let me
That's
see. She
true.
said, I also feel like two things can be right. Oh, I'm sorry, I clicked the same one. It was this one. She says, I'm also pro. Why does this one keep getting up here? Show. I'm also pro. Oh, it's showing a different comment on the screen. All right, let me, conjunction with your malfunction.
Yeah, that was the
So
right one right
it
there.
says, I'm also pro, don't bring a child into a fucked up situation too. Definitely. So that brings me to Andre. Andre, I keep seeing you pop up and then you disappear. Um, that goes back to this. Andre said, my thing, if you're struggling with 3 kids, single alone, I can't understand adding number 4 to the mix and struggling even more again. Accountability.
Some
Yes.
people can't
Can
help
we
themselves, yo.
can we chew on that? What you mean some people can't help themselves?
Cause I know some of them. Some people just can't help themselves. They, I mean, they out here
I
trying
think
to.
that's an excuse, and we have to stop
No,
giving
it
people.
is. I ain't saying it's not. I'm just saying that's what it is, though. They just can't help themselves.
Do you guys believe that?
Some
I
people
gotta see.
just,
Y'all believe some? CJ is saying that some people, Andre, to this comment, some people just cannot help themselves to have a bunch of babies.
yeah. Some people just they get lost in the act or in the moment, and they forget about the reality. And then once that happens, it's like, oh damn, here I go again. And then they complain, and then all this, that, and the third, and then like I say, they can't help themselves. They haven't. They haven't put their foot down and be like, all right, enough is enough. I gotta do better. I gotta stop this.
All right, so I
Some
want to ask you guys this question, right? So if you're dealing with a person and they tell you that they dang, I just had the question based upon what you said, that they don't want a baby or they want the baby, whatever, right? And you go to have the child or the child comes about, do would you oh man, I lost my thought. I gotta come back to it. Pause. Intermission. Go ahead, finish, CJ. It's got I gotta think of it. It's coming. Because it was
I was
good.
just saying, like some people, they just ain't there yet to where they're strong enough to put their foot down and realize that this them
Uh-huh.
keep doing the same that they doing is not gonna get them the result. They keep repeating the insanity cycle.
Okay.
Some people they just still stuck. I
Okay,
mean,
keep going because I feel like my question may be coming back. Come on, keep going.
and they just can't help themselves. They just like doing the do, and they don't
You
know
can
how
you
to.
can like sex, but that doesn't mean you
No,
got to pop
no,
out
no,
kids.
no. But
You know
that's
what I say.
no.
I always say people. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is me. Don't shoot me, y'all. But when I be saying that, sometimes I be like, and there's no judgment to people with multiple baby daddies, okay? But I be like, damn, what you fell in love with every nigga you met? But only because, right? This is probably my bias. I had my daughter because I loved her dad. You know what I mean? I was a teenage mom. I knew nothing about parenthood. I knew nothing. And it was like, dang, I love him. And we think we're gonna be with him. We be like, I love that man. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
we
mm,
think it's gonna be. So I know like most of the dudes I dealt with after that relationship, I ain't love them hoes. So
mm.
I'm not having your kids, but also me too, right? Just because I always tell people it only took me one time. Um, I also think too, CJ, I know you're saying that some people just don't know any better to keep having kids. And I gotta ponder on that to see because I had a good question for everybody, but I lost it. I gotta let that simmer in my spirit a little bit. Just because I don't think I quite agree with that. But I don't know if I don't agree with it.
I'm just saying, like some
But
people, they just not there to where they can say, "All right, enough is enough. This is what my life look like, and if I keep doing these same things, I'm gonna keep getting the same thing that I say that I don't like." Some people just ain't there yet to stand on top of themselves and be like, "Let me break this cycle. I can't do certain things certain ways because I don't want to keep getting the same results." Some people stuck in that insanity cycle.
okay.
You just don't know how to break themselves.
Andre, are you there? I see him trying to join in. I don't know if you can why did I do that? Why did I just change that format? Girl, what are you doing? Just pushing anything. Um
Oh, you know what?
what?
Miss Angelic just hit it on the nose. She just basically
Oh,
said
I'm
what
gonna
I
pull
was
up that
trying to say.
I'm
I'm
gonna pull up that
squinting.
comment. Let's see.
It's so
But
small, but I
Andre,
can see it.
it says your device isn't connected. But Andre, if when you get on, if you say something so I can know if we can hear you, but I can't hear you. Okay. Hey girl. What did she say? I think it's much deeper. Unhealed people, men and women, make decisions out of their wounds.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's what we
absolutely agree.
yeah, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, just the staying in situations and doing things out of, when we were having a conversation when she was like, well, the guy said that the girl always wanted to be on the phone and he was like, well, she's insecure. And I'm like, you don't meet anybody and just start off being insecure. You don't meet anybody and just start off not trusting them from the time you get their phone number, unless things change and then you get your own issues surface. But yeah, definitely, hurt people hurt people. A bunch of us are just broken vessels walking around, meeting people, and extra read all about it. And now we have all these broken homes. So, like, for example, y'all know I always bring up Krishan. I love Krishan. Krishan comes from a family of 11 or 12, right? All of her invite guests.
I don't know why they keep picking on that girl. They need to leave
I'm
that
going to
girl
send you
alone.
another link. Andre, I'm going to try to send you another link because I see you keep trying to get on. But it's saying that it's something with your device. But think about it. All of her sisters, they all said that they all want a bunch of kids. They didn't care if it's the same dad. They don't care about that. They all want a bunch of kids. Usually a lot of people who come from large families or have a lot of siblings want a bunch of kids. But I think that plays a part in it sometimes as well. But here we are, we see her in real time. This is what it looks like. She comes from two parents with addictions. She was in this crazy relationship publicly. She continues to allow this man to humiliate her in every way. And she's still there for the ride. But at the same time, people will judge her, say this, that, and the third, when all of us somewhere along the line, we all know a Krishan.
I was just ready to
And we
say that.
all know a Blueface.
That's why I said they need
Hell,
to leave that girl
some of
alone,
us
man.
are them. It's just publicly. So I just feel like I definitely do agree with Andre. Like, it comes a time, it gets to a point. If you already know you can't take care of the kids you have, and when do you say, I gotta stop, I gotta get my tubes tied, or I gotta get vasectomies? But I don't believe that all of the responsibility should always be placed on a woman. Hey Andre,
No,
are you there? What are you doing? I heard you click on here and your sound came.
You hear me?
Oh, okay. I had to. Can you guys hear him? Hi, Andre. CJ, can you hear him?
Hey,
yeah, I heard him now.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine.
Okay, let's get into it. What's your thoughts,
All
buddy?
right.
What's your thoughts?
So it's it's so hard looking at the situation, especially when, like I said, most times the woman is left holding the bag. Like, let's make that clear. Like, yes, it's her body. She's bringing this baby into the world. She's literally left to make that decision of one, if she's gonna, end it all before it comes, or decide that this is a lifetime commitment that she's gonna make on her own.
Okay.
And the only thing that, like I said, the problem comes in, and I have a lot of females in my family, a whole lot. And
Okay.
it's like, and we got friends, and we always be like, well, why is she having baby number 4? Why the hell is she on number 5? And the situation didn't change with 1, 2, 3, or 4. Why do
Yeah.
you set yourself up for this almost like a failure? Not that children are not a failure, but you're setting your life up to be pushed back 10 more steps. Because now you may have got 1, 2, and 3 out the house in school. Now
Mhm.
you back home with number 4, taking yourself back when could have been taking steps to go forward with, the 3 that you have, and you trying to make things, progress and go right.
Yeah.
At some point, that accountability comes in. You got to be like, I'm not going to do this to my number one, myself, or the other children, because everybody that takes on a consequence in the house.
So let me ask you guys a question. And everybody that's out there. And if a young lady wants to join, you can definitely join the conversation. Um, so let me ask this question. Is there ever a point in time where, with what CJ says, that people who are already struggling may not even be aware that they're struggling, so they continue to have children?
Yeah, because they
Is,
still
is, is
operating
that
out of
possible?
brokenness.
Is it possible for
Yeah,
people to not believe that they're struggling if they're
No,
already struggling from having a
yeah,
baby?
they still
they-
operating out of that brokenness that, like Miss Angelic said. That's why they haven't reached the point yet to take the accountability that Andre said. They still operating out of brokenness. That's why they don't see it. I mean,
think
they
about it.
feel how they feel once that happened, but they still haven't got to that point where the accountability is forcing them to be like, all right, you can't keep doing this no more, because the brokenness that they still operating in, the mindset ain't shift yet.
But
So
also, if I'm getting,
Benita said some people are users and have the children to take advantage of family members and the state.
That's
Well,
true
that's
too.
and
Those people.
that's just what I was getting ready to say, because if you're getting benefits, you get a Section 8 voucher, you got a bed. Let's be true. Some of them got a house that you even wish that you could have, and it's you're only paying the minimum of $200-300 a month, and you're getting food stamps, and you can ride around in your car because I mean
Mm,
you're doing a damn thing basically. They don't see broke how working people see that other things got to be taken care of. That's not on their schedule. So insurance policies, car insurance, all that's not on their schedule. They living
mm,
in the now right now.
mm.
That's not no
That just
no.
yeah, that's
So
true.
College
Angelic said
tuition.
she said that's what she
Not,
just said. What you said, she said they don't
Yeah.
see the struggle through the lens others do
they don't.
because struggle is a norm.
Exactly. So they don't see that you out there hustling because you trying to get your child tuition paid because you want them in a better school. Hungry kids going down the street to the public school with free lunch, and trust me, she fine with that. Some people are fine being in that mindset.
And you know what's crazy about that though? Some of them. Well, I can't speak for everybody because, of course, I'm not in them shoes. But me understanding how certain things work, especially when it comes to the way some people operate in their mind, I believe that a lot of them don't even really think that they doing nothing wrong or really thinking that they're using the system per se. They're just like you just said, Dre. That's just the mindset that they in. That's just the way they see life. Like this is what it is. I mean, this is it.
But why?
Yeah.
Because it also was a taught behavior. They watched their great grandmother, they watched
Right?
their
Yeah,
mother
exactly.
come up through the
So that's
same
why it's
system
normal for
of
them.
living in a project and not trying to elevate and go nowhere. I had a
Exactly.
single mother in the projects, and I watched my mother elevate. I watched her keep pushing. I watched her go from the projects to owning 2 homes, to owning a vehicle. I watched her go to college. Like I watched the progress as it was happening. So I knew that
Well,
once I came up, I wanted
Yeah,
more.
everybody don't got that.
everybody who
And,
has
and they don't.
everybody who lives
Some people don't.
who has or does or previous whatever lived in the projects still do or whatever or in the system. Everybody is that's on the system goal isn't to stay in the system.
Right.
Some people
Right.
use that as a stepping stone.
And that's what it was supposed
Yeah,
to be in the beginning. A
yeah,
stepping
Yeah.
everybody
stone.
don't got that though. Everybody don't got that example though. They from the lens that they seeing through, that's just the way of life. They don't see nothing greater than that because they don't have nobody ahead of them that showed them that there is a way out.
It
So they
became
surrounded by
generational.
yeah, sure enough.
So does that deem the man that shows up seeing that she already has 3 and 4 children? Why would you automatically assume that she's if there's proof that she keeps children, why would you think she's not going to keep yours? And then you say you don't want to take care of it.
Yeah, now that part right there
Who's to
is
blame in this?
crazy.
Not even really to blame, but it's like it's so many different scenarios, and we could go on and on with the different scenarios, but it's almost to a degree from what I'm thinking with certain parts of it, like could seem very predatory, right? Because you know how when they say, "Oh, she know not to play with," "Oh, he know who not to play with," because usually some of the guys that have multiple baby mothers, it's one of them that he don't play with. He go pick that baby up. He there. I'm for real. Like he might play with Bridget, Keisha, and Shannon, but he know not to play with Lisa and Toya. What is that about? Because I
I don't
feel,
know.
I mean, and I know that the things that could go into the relationships, and that like we ain't looking at it that way. Like, what is it about, a man, some men where you pick and choose who to play with? Is that you because you guys are already like moving like a predator? Like, well, I know I can have a baby and she gonna do this. It's almost like the person who be like, oh, I ain't call you because I knew what you were gonna call me. I knew you was gonna call me. Or no.
No, I think because
I ain't stop at the store and go to the market because I knew I knew that you was going to do it. It's like that's not fair to just automatically assume that I'm going to stop at the market and all the other stuff. So it's like
but
that,
it's
you
also the
know.
caliber of woman that he's dealing with. If I'm dealing with you and you make it known from the gate that you're not for my bullshit and you're not going to take it, I know I can't slide with Candace. But I know if Becky over here gonna be with the dumb bullshit, I know what I can do with Becky. But I know when I hit Candace's door, I better have XYZ for my child because she gonna hold me accountable for it. Becky's not gonna hold me
But why
accountable.
not?
That's
Why don't you have that same
that's the but I'm
with
telling you why,
Becky?
because she's gonna let me slide with that. And you're not. You're not. So I know who to play with over here. I can tell I didn't get my paycheck this week, but you know better.
Which
And
is
you know
crazy
I got
though.
Well, I don't, but when you
I
think, but
think,
when we talking about it, like I get that. But what is that?
yeah.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it about Candace that
Why is
have you
he
saying, "Oh,
picking
I
and
know why I
choosing?
can't do
Right.
that"?
Right. Instead of
What
just
is it
because
being
you're
the
holding me
same
to a
way all
different
the way
standard.
around.
You're
to
holding me to a
everybody?
different standard where somebody else not gonna hold me to that. You're
I
not
get
gonna play
that.
them type of games.
No, I
With
I
get
somebody
get
that,
that.
but
But
it's
bound to happen.
what she's saying is it's messed up because why not be however it is that you're gonna be, why
Ex-
not be that all the way around?
Exactly. Of course, but that's not gonna happen.
yeah.
You have some stand-up guys that's going to handle everything across the board with everybody. But you got some, if she's gonna let it slap, he gonna let it slap.
No, that's facts though. There's a lot of that
I mean,
going on out here. But it's
Mm.
crazy though, because like Candace said, that's predatorial. Because if you're gonna be a
definitely.
deadbeat, be a deadbeat 100%. If you're gonna be
Exactly.
stand up to one of your
Yep.
kids, no, be stand up and be
Yep.
there for all of them. Like, what's the switcheroo up for? Like, what
Yep.
is that? That says a lot about that
And
man
that's
as an individual.
also same way he would
Oh,
give
and
a
also, wait a
woman.
minute. Also, you guys, also, Tremanda, if you guys check your inbox that wanted the link is in your Facebook inbox messenger. Back to you guys.
That same way for a man giving for the woman, and they don't have children, but he
Mhm.
marries this other woman and take care of her kids and neglecting his own.
Now, what is that about? You see,
Exactly.
this just
And
Yeah,
goes
that's
on a
again,
lot of things.
and
So,
again,
that's
because you got
real
some
crazy. I don't
women,
know it. I don't know
especially
what
the woman that
that is.
he married, especially the
yeah.
woman that he married who said, it's okay that you neglect your children and lay in my house and take care of
I was
mine.
just ready to say that. That speak a lot
Come
about who
on.
she is as a person. Because
Exactly.
why would you allow him to do that?
Yeah, I definitely get that too. But then we have to understand, like what we were saying earlier, and even some of what Milena had said earlier in the comments too, that some like we can't put all the blame on the man just because he has a penis. If he tells you from the get-go, yo, I don't care if you had these kids or not, I'm not gonna be here. This is
She
not
just know
what I
what she
want.
signed up for.
Like a man should have the right to be able to say, yo, I don't want this for my life. Yeah, there are things you should think about. Well, you should have thought about that before you were doing it. Okay, well, he didn't, and he's saying he ain't doing it. It is kind of just it's just unfortunate,
It's
you
very
know.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
we'll just say it's unfortunate because I mean, I get it. He said he ain't want that, but we still agreed to do the tango. But from my lens, this is CJ's perspective. If you still did that, if you really ain't want kids that bad, you should have made it your business to make sure that condom don't break or make sure you pull out on your end because you ain't want that baby that bad. See, you told her you ain't want it, but you still was so reckless and you just let it happen how it's gonna happen. All right, now it's a baby, even though you told her you ain't want it. I get it because you said what you said in the beginning, but at the end of the day, you still did the thing that made that baby get here though.
So Angelic said, what you are talking about is ambition. Ambition is taught by vision, exposure, discipline, and expectation. This is a learned behavior. So that was what we were saying. What is it? Why people are having all these kids and they aren't knowing that they're already struggling and they keep having it. But oh, I like this comment right here that she said because this one is the T child. She said, if you and her have the same baby father, there is no higher caliber woman. And
Mm,
we need a mic. Shaboing. I gotta give me some sound. That
damn,
is so true. That is so true. So is that
damn.
so? So is that kind of like, you know? So will we kind of call that angelic? Both of y'all chose the bomb. You know what I'm like?
I mean,
Both of y'all
he may
chose the
be the
loser.
bum, but I might not decide to sit in my mess. Some
That
women
and
ain't
So
there
saying,
goes
well,
the
what?
you know that
ambition.
some women ain't gonna sit there in that mess that they created. Some of them will get out and be go getting and make some shit happen.
And
Not
that's
sit
the
there and
Oh,
ambition that
that's
understandable.
the
Angelic
thing
was
when I
talking
said
about.
that's what I meant by caliber. Because some women is not gonna sit there and let that define who they are. They gonna go there and go get and make some shit happen, and not wait on him or keep complaining about him. That's what I meant about that. I didn't say that you because y'all had the same dude that we both chose the bum. Is
Yeah.
who will sit
I
here
just
in this
think that
mess
I
and
forgot
not
I didn't
handle
make
it.
sense.
That's what I meant.
Okay. And Tremendous said the person is not mature enough. And Benita said everybody's different. Some people don't speak up for themselves like others.
Right.
I mean, I definitely I definitely agree with that. I just think that, it is a case by case basis.
Definitely.
It really shouldn't be a case it really shouldn't be a case by case basis, because if you know not to play with Bridget, then you should not play with Pam.
Right.
Does that really go to the caliber, like she said, of the woman, or does this still all just point back to you, the person, the
Mm,
individual, and what you stand for and what you believe? You know what I mean? So and then kids come in different stages. So like I said, I definitely get it, because I too was that person. Like, my I like to say this because it make me feel like ratchet. My baby's daddy, he knew that he was in the relationship. These women didn't know. He knew that if it's almost like the people when y'all get in relationships and then y'all break up for a little bit, or y'all not talking and then y'all break up and then y'all get back together. It's like, nigga, if you know this is what y'all do, you shouldn't even be out here entertaining nobody else, because things can come out of the entertainment.
ain't that
That's
what
why
I
I
said
don't believe in
earlier?
relationship breaks, because it's like, well, what is a break? What does that look like? Because things can happen in between the break,
Ain't that what I
right?
said earlier?
So it's like, if these things can happen in between the break, right? And with him, um, he knew more than anybody that he had a home somewhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you knew that. They too knew that. Y'all ain't
That's
never come over my house and lay up, you know? Well, to my knowledge, but at that time, I wasn't working. But
just
neither
like
here
I
nor
said
there.
earlier. That's why.
But the point is, when in that situation, like what to the comment that Melina said, that is the part that had me like, well, you knew the situation you were in, and you knew the situation he was in. You chose to keep that baby. I don't care that he not taking care of that baby. I don't care that he's not this. Like I said, that I was on that side of it. And then I got to experience it. And I was like, Dad, well, you know what? When we think about the kids, it's not right. But this is what happens when adults make decisions, and you got to deal with the choices. And we all just have to answer for our choices. But at the same time, I've always been on the fence with that, because I feel like if he tell you he don't want the kids, yo, don't have the kids. Like, don't make it harder. And if you do have the kids, then you do. But I do get that. It's like, yo, why do I gotta take care of all this responsibility? But at the same time, it's like, well, he told you he didn't want to. Hey, Tremanda. I don't know if you want to hear either. All of y'all was having technical difficulty. Oh, there
Uh-uh.
you go.
Can you
Hey.
hear me? You can hear me? But yeah,
Yeah.
my opinion about that is like a lot of times I feel like most people just have to take accountability. When you saying accountability, that works in both parts. Like seriously, if you know you don't want kids, you're supposed to do everything to protect yourself at the end of the day, because you don't know and can't control nobody else but yourself at the end of the day. So you don't know what a person would do
True.
or decide. So if you go out there unprotected, guess what? You roll the dice. You
Yep.
actually roll the dice. So guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to have to take responsibility no matter what lane girlfriend go down. You rolled the dice. You did it. So
Yep.
she gonna have to take the
Yep.
responsibility if you bounce. You're gonna have to take the responsibility if she take you downtown.
Yep.
Everybody gonna play their role in taking responsibility. That's just what it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah. Sure enough.
So if
so do you
you,
agree? So if that happens and the man say, "Well, I'm not going to be here," is that okay?
He can
I mean,
sign his
he could
rights over.
decide that if he want to. You can't make the decision for him.
No,
If
I'm
he decide
asking.
that,
I'm
I think
asking you
it's wrong.
directly. Your
I
thought.
think it's wrong. I think it's wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because kids are innocent in all these situations.
Hold
Kids are
on.
innocent.
Hold on. Did not say that, y'all. I said somebody gonna
They
say
are.
kids is innocent.
But they
Yeah,
are.
Yeah,
Kids
definitely
they
are
did.
are.
really innocent. Why would you do anything to destroy a kid's life? Because now you about to bring up a kid who might be angry because they don't have no dad or mom. They might be
Uh,
having like issues because this is missing in life. And guess what?
Nobody's ever
Y'all
thinking
rolled
that
the
for
dice for it to happen. Both of y'all rolled the dice.
But you also have what we talked about too. You also have people who do have and may have grown up in a two-parent household or have had an active dad, even though their mother and them weren't together, who still grow up angry, use
And
drugs,
that's
go to
true.
jail,
But I
commit
mean, if
crime. You
if
Definitely.
know, like
it could be other stuff going on. You know what I mean? Sometimes stuff just out of your control. There's no parenting book out here that tell you things of how to raise everything. You be doing the best you can sometimes.
and it's
And a
true,
lot of
brother.
times,
Sure enough.
everybody come from different backgrounds. People have trauma sometimes from certain stuff. You just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And I just be hating that today's time they always trying to put everybody against each other and act like everything's so perfect and
Hmm.
don't choose this, don't choose that. Like go sit down somewhere for real. You know what I mean? Because it's not even real life, the crap that they be talking all day nowadays. People make mistakes. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's like,
Oh,
what
I
are you
agree.
going to stand up to at the end of the day, though? What are you going to stand up to when you grow up out of that immature mind state? You know what I mean? We all can make mistakes. You do a lot of stupid things sometimes when you're young. You can have a kid as a teenager. You have
Hmm.
somebody over your head trying to hold it over you. Oh, she got a baby daddy already. You get what I'm saying? Like your mama had a baby daddy and probably your aunt or somebody else. Like it's, like people aren't always taught and shown things. You be learning on your own sometimes. It ain't like your parents all the time sit you down and try to tell you this, that, and the third. And if they do, sometimes you still gonna roll the dice to learn on your own because you think you know more than you do when you're young.
so then what do you
You know
say to
what I
the
mean?
so then what do you say to the young lady just from a woman's perspective? What do you say to the young lady who or whether it's your family or friends where like Andre said, we sit around and we watch them keep having children or they may not keep having children, they may just not be in the best position to have children and they continue to have kids or they have the baby. What do you say to them? Do you say, "Hey, you know you don't need this baby," right? If they say, "I don't believe in abortions," do you then say, "Well, you need to start. The doctor's around the corner"? What or do you just say, "Well, I'm gonna help you take care of the baby, this, and the third, blah, blah, blah." Like what do you say to that person?
I mean, I would definitely, if I had a kid that was having like a lot of children and I see this is too much and all of that, I'm definitely going to speak to him about it. Like it's unfair to the children and it's unfair to yourself at the end of the day. So maybe you need to use some kind of protection. Like, like it's unfair. But that don't mean they won't go by what you telling them. That don't mean that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you people gonna have their own life lessons out here. They gonna have 10
Do
million
you
kids.
think that even though people can make their own choices and they definitely make their own choices, you guys, do you think that there's a part in time where sometimes us as family members or mothers or people who are there to help those family members in need, do you think that it's a chance that we can enable some of them to continue to have children?
Yeah.
Of course you can. Of
Yeah.
course you can. You can.
And I can speak
You
on that
you, you
personally.
really can.
I
You
can speak
can.
on
I
that one
see
personally.
Yeah, I was going to say you definitely can. If you got one of them moms that'll watch all your kids, you keep having them and all of that, and you know it's stressing you out, they just keep going through it. They might got to learn the hard way of this is what it feel like when you got to do it every day without no help. Like, but I mean, see, I don't know because I'm gonna think different than that because I'm gonna always look at the kids before anything because I
Yeah.
believe that adults half the times you've been through enough stuff you know some lessons by now. These kids don't know nothing, so they are
Yeah.
so innocent in the whole situation.
But
So I'm
sometimes, just like,
Anita just said
I feel like it could
something.
go back to that. I don't know who that man was, but did y'all see that video go viral on Instagram when he said, "Y'all keep talking to me." He was with this Mayor Scott, and he was like, "Y'all keep talking about the village, but what happens when the village is retarded?"
Yeah, the village definitely
But that
retarded.
does happen a lot. It does. Like I'm telling you, like seriously, people don't do a lot of self work. That's what's wrong with society
Yeah.
today. They don't do the work that it takes to get in the right headspace for real. So of course, if you with a person who has zero knowledge, what they telling you? Zero knowledge,
Right.
right? Their opinion is going to be ridiculous a lot of the times. You've been through some
So you
stuff like
stand on the side of, regardless if you wanted a baby or not, regardless if you knew that if the children are here, you need to take care of them.
yes, you do.
You now take care of them. Define that. Is that just involving just sending child support or actively spending
You
time
need to
doing?
actively be in a kid's life. You need to actively be there because I mean, as any kid, seriously, if you have ever talked to a grown up or a child and they tell you what's missing in their life and it's a parent, that is hard on a child. That's one of them
Yeah.
childhood traumas.
Yes.
It's one of the childhood
Okay, so then we
traumas,
have
actually.
that thing that say, you can't miss something you never had, but there are different things that may have
No, but see,
been
everybody
different
don't
in
think
your
the
life
same.
if
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it is
Everybody don't think
different.
the same.
That's
No, I
different.
get that.
Everybody
You're right.
don't think the same. You got
So
some people
then,
might roll right through it, but I guarantee you, you talk to five people, you gonna have three that had a hard time.
so Bonita said that's why you need to watch who you sleep with. But then again, you could be high school sweethearts and end up in a fucked up situation. So that leads
That's
me. So
true.
so
So
then
no,
so
I
then
don't
we.
even think it's that. Like I really think if you want to not have no kids, you need to protect yourself. You could be sleeping with the man of your dreams. Y'all thought y'all was gonna be married, all this, that, and third, and that whole conversation could have happened. And guess what? Y'all went against the grain. Nobody protect themselves, and here come baby.
I
Okay,
think
so now,
So then here we go. So then also with that, right? It comes to and I can only speak for me. I do know that, and you guys let me know. Did you guys have fathers? Did you not have a parent? Did you not have a mother? Did it affect you or whatever? Um, but I know for me, right? I do see where there could have been a difference if my father was actively present, right?
right? Hmm.
Um, but definitely I don't know what it's like to be a daddy's girl. Maybe it may
Right,
be fun. Maybe it's a great thing. Like, who doesn't want a parent, right?
right.
But well, I don't know what it's like to be a mama's girl neither, because in most single parent households, the mother is always working. But
so enough.
but um when I always say, you can't miss what you didn't have. I do recognize the differences, and I do think that there were things that, definitely would have or could have should have been different.
Right.
But then I also look at my other siblings who grew up in the two-parent household with him, and I see them, and it's like, yeah, nigga, I'm glad you wasn't around. So, but outside of that, I mean, that's another conversation. But outside of that, right? Um, we developed a relationship as I got older. You get old enough to call your father and stuff on the phone without the mother, because a lot of the times it's the issue between the parents.
Right.
That's a lot of times. I mean, it sucks, but it's the issue between the parents, right? But um, I can honestly say I've never had a moment where I was like, I wish I had a father. And I know it might sound crazy to you. Hey, don't judge me, judge your mother.
I don't even think it
But
sounds crazy. I just think
I never had a moment where I was like, I wish I had a father. And I believe that maybe the reason why I didn't have that moment is because I did have some form of a male role model in my life. My brother sat and would talk to me, and you ain't wearing that. I mean, my shorts wouldn't even be short, but my brother was more of that. And so he went into the military, right? So it was, hey, you're not gonna wear that, do all of this. you know, don't let a man, don't be impressed by what a man, about his car, about his money, anything he can do for you. You could say, look, my brother has all of this. Like, you've seen it, you've experienced it. So somebody else having it is not going to make you be like, let me bust it wide open. Then I tell him, bring it back. Right. You know,
Hey,
not
yo.
not out here sleeping with people for food, right? Or doing things like that. And then I also had, and then I also had my mother, who I remember my mother bought me my first pair of diamond earrings. I'll never forget it. And she bought me my very first pair of diamond earrings when I was little. And she was like, here, I don't ever want you to be impressed by the material things somebody could give you. And um, you know, and of course we go through and they can give their own experiences. But I've always had, and then Mr. James was like, for the rest of his soul. So I had men around me that would say, don't let a man do this to you if he's not opening the doors, if he's not doing this, if this is not that. Don't, like you said, Shamanda, did I choose them? Not all the time. I overlooked some of them for the hood nigga. You know how that be. Got a rough neck, gotta get a rough neck. And
But
then
you
I
know what, baby,
realized, like,
even
damn, I
about
should have
that,
went
like
with the
if you'd
clown.
have had a dad, sometimes that might would have changed your whole trajectory of how you look at that.
Yeah,
But we
yeah,
don't
and that's
know.
what I'm
'Cause, I
saying.
mean, if
That's why I
you
said
right,
I do recognize where that not having a father would have made a
hmm
difference in some things. Um,
right,
but I've not been that person that's like, Dag, I wish I grew up with a dad, because it was almost like when you grow up with something, it's almost like you can't miss it. It's like when you file
it's
your
substitute.
taxes
It's
and,
substitute.
and
It's
they take
substitute.
your tax money. He's like, well, I can't be mad that they took it because I ain't never had it
Right.
in the
I ain't
beginning.
never seen it anyway.
I ain't never
Right.
seen it.
It
It's
shows up in other
substitute
ways,
stuff.
though.
That's what I
Yes,
said. It'll show up.
It
It'll
shows
show up
up in
other
other ways.
ways. It definitely will show
yes,
up. That's why I said it
it
definitely
does a lot.
possibly showed up other ways, and I can see areas where it's like maybe if this was present, then certain things wouldn't have been done. But when I think about as mischievous, right, and rebellious as I was, had I even had my father present, I would have still been sneaking off to go see my boyfriend. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but
Like,
you will get those kind of children anyway. Like you're gonna get young people that's gonna just do them. But to me, I always look at that as they are the people who have to learn from life. Period. Some people can take the advice of a parent and maybe not do, like what they're telling you not to do, or kind of go with what the parent's saying. But you have a lot of people out here that just have to learn from experience of
yeah,
everything. But all the time, the experience might not be a good one. You know what I mean? It might be a bad one. It might be a good one. Who knows? You know what I mean? And you don't miss a lot of times what you don't have sometimes. You know what I mean? But you
yeah,
do have some people who have all kind of issues by
yeah,
not having a parent or something sometimes. You know what I mean? They could be around people who have both parents, and that could be like their best friend. They be watching this the whole time, wishing this
yeah,
was their life. You get what
yeah,
I'm saying? And they like these parents. So this is an experience that they are now, recognizing in themselves that's not here for them, which can
Right.
still, lead into more stuff. That's why to me, like when you start rolling the dice and making mistakes, you need to be the person thinking about that stuff. You do. Because it's not on one person, it's on both of y'all. I don't care how much conversation you have before time, you protect yourself, and then guess what? You don't got to worry about a person sticking you or something. You
So
know what I
Benita
mean?
said, my father was there, but he wasn't around unless it was the holidays. Okay.
And I
Okay.
can attest, my father was present in the home, but never
Mm-hmm.
showed up for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the
Right.
side
So
of it,
Andre, you had a two-parent household?
yes, yes.
Okay.
But he was never there. Like graduation, it was always my mother. Teacher conference, my mother. He
Right.
was there, but then
Mhm.
not there. It's like
Right.
he did not. Like we didn't exist.
Yeah,
And
he was
now
a
it's
visitor.
showing up because now
That
he's living back in the home because he's not well, and it's showing up because I don't know how to forget what happened when I was little. So I can't show up because you didn't show up.
And
So I
Okay.
see,
feel
that's all in the experience. That's why I'm saying
I
some
feel
people experience just different.
everybody don't understand, but
Yeah,
he wasn't there. So I feel like, how can I show up 100% now?
right.
You didn't care when I was little that you didn't show up, and you were there. That's the thing. I couldn't be one of the kids that, oh, my dad's in jail, my dad died. No, he right in the house, and he just choose not to,
Yeah, they don't
Right.
even know that nigga. He
They
there, but he
home.
ain't there.
Right. But see, that's all
Well,
of
you
a
know what?
part
I
of
will what I will say to that, to relate that I can relate to that, Andre, as far as now when he needs assistance and you're not really feeling it, right? Because there were times my mother had got me dressed and my father was supposed to come and he didn't come. Or there were times that my father told me he was coming and he didn't come. And there were times when I got older, and I would drive, I would go see him. But there were times where he would ask me to come and I say, I'm coming. And I remember I wouldn't go some days. And then when I would get on the phone with him, he would say, Candace, I thought you said you was coming. And I said, oh yeah, I got caught up. But I didn't lie. I told him what it was. But sitting here, what I've recognized a while ago, and even just with us having a conversation, I can be honest enough to say, yeah, Andre, definitely. I was like, that was in my mind. It's like coming to see you wasn't a priority because you didn't make it a priority for me when I was little. So if you're telling me you want me to come see you, okay, I think you'll be okay if I don't make it because there were times you didn't make it.
Mhm.
So that definitely was something that bounced around. But we did develop a relationship as I got older. And when he passed away, that was the part of the relationship I missed. Like I have moments where I'm like, damn, I wish I could call my father because he was off the chain and we just talked. Like he wasn't the father I could call for money. And I remember I asked that nigga buy me a car. And he was like, buy you a car, but then turned around and bought my sisters who lived with him a car. So it's like all that different stuff that go in it. And I get it that the household where the parent is going to get the most out of it. I completely understand
Right.
that. But outside of that, it was like, okay, when he said no to me, like I ain't gonna get you no car, I didn't feel a way. Because it was like, yo, you didn't take care of me anyway. My mother did. So outside of that, I could call him. He became the dad, and we had the relationship where I'm gonna introduce my dudes to him. We're gonna go over there, we're gonna trip, and I can be completely unfiltered. I could be completely unfiltered and say anything
Well,
to
you
my
just ought to be because he wasn't
and
there.
he
So
wasn't going to
he owe you that.
wasn't going to exactly, and he wasn't going to judge me for it. So I do like the fact that as I got older, we had that relationship, and I got to see how maybe he did let me express myself, as an adult and do all that because of who he and the things he didn't do. But at the same time, that's the part of the relationship with him that I do like, that I didn't have to censor who I was, what I was thinking. So even though he wasn't present as I got older and communicated with him on my own, we developed our own space. But it seemed like the deadbeat daddies become the perfect grandkid fathers because he always wanted my daughter.
Yeah.
That's
And my
crazy.
Oh,
Why you gonna
I
start
got
over
Maybe
over
some
there.
he
She
shit?
learned
throwing
though, probably as
money.
he got older, like what he missed out on.
Yeah, and I take her over there. She getting money. Every time she leave, he called. I'm like, she can spend the night and this. But me, I'm like, I am not letting my kids stay over there. You know what I mean? So it's just those things. I do think that we can't place all the blame on women. I do think we can't place all the blame on men. I definitely think you don't know what you don't know till you know what you don't know. And as long as we're
Right.
here, it's always time um to just do better and try. But then
Yeah.
I am on the fence with you knew what it was when you signed into it. Shit, even Ray Charles told the side chick that I ain't leaving my wife for you.
I
So
get it,
it
bro. And I
I
get
don't
that. I get when people say that though, but I'm saying like when you be looking at society and all of these men complaining about, oh, she had this baby, when I told her ahead of time, that's what I did not want. does that not make you smarter to protect yourself?
You know
Because
what
you
though,
don't know
Tremanda?
what a person going to decide. You can't decide it for them.
You know what, Tremanda?
But
Like you said,
everybody don't
like you
think about
said,
that.
the word society, like you just said, that's the problem. Society
Right.
got everybody thinking that they don't have to take accountability just because you
Right.
say you
Right.
don't want this kid. Oh, you can still commit the action, but you don't have to take responsibility because you told it you ain't want it. That's the problem. Society got everybody thinking crazy.
They
But
do
you
because
also,
we
but you
think,
also have that part that's in society that says, "Yeah, I said it. I know I did it, and I'm going to deal with it, and that's that. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it."
Yeah,
right, but at the
yeah,
end of the
And
day,
although we
if
may
you,
say, "Oh, it's not right. That's not okay," we can't say it's wrong either.
I just know, like, when it comes down to it, it's everybody's decision on what you decide. And I mean, that's yourself, the person, all of that. You know what I mean? You don't know what a person do. If you decide to have a baby, dude don't show up, then guess what? You roll the dice.
you just gotta
You
take what
go
come with it.
downtown, you roll the dice. Guess what? She wouldn't have been knocked up with this baby if you ain't have sex. If she ain't have sex, she wouldn't be knocked up with the baby too, and you ain't showing up.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly
I
why I
mean,
said what I
everybody
said.
not playing their role. That's why when you roll those dice, you get what you get.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You get
how do
what
we
I'm
just do
saying?
better as a society and a culture with the times that we're living in right now, where we see the cost of living has gone up, everything is going up, but your income, um, and just how they say they're trying to erase history and different things have occurred. How do we just become better? Because we can't change everybody, we can't change the world, but we can change ourselves. What can we do? Can we spread more awareness? Do we need to become more aware and become more entrepreneurial? What do we do? What should we do as a people? Like, what's going on?
That's a
I always
multi-layered
feel like pay it
question right
forward.
there.
If you pay it forward to one person, because I'm saying we already see no matter how many people get out here and preach to the masses, it's always somebody preaching against the positivity. Okay,
Mm,
so I feel like you always push the positivity. If you could touch one person, they will touch somebody else. You
mm-hmm.
can't win everybody. You ain't gonna be able to win
Yeah.
everybody because
Everybody ain't gonna be able to
everybody
go.
hear you
Yeah.
at the time they need to hear you. So all you could do is keep putting out the best word that you can. And I feel like that will make a difference because you never know what somebody intaking from you, period. And if you know you are always in a positive mind, I would just try to keep pushing the positivity and let that be that. Because and do whatever else, your body's telling you. Like if they saying go volunteer, maybe do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But thing that you could do that is geared towards a positive thing, I would just do that.
Because all these programs is coming to an end. They trying their best to do you out and wipe out everything that they can that benefits the black race.
Yeah, the
They think that
positivity. And it's like, and we'll
we're
fall
the
into
only
it too.
ones that are on, social services. We're the only ones that go down for housing. Like we know that's a lie, but this is the
Right.
general portion that is us. So when they see
Right.
that we're the majority or we're the ones that's benefiting the most, they're trying their best to do without.
Yeah.
So
So
we
when
kind of
do
wake
we
up.
so when do we as people we start to treat each other better? If you see somebody in need, a lot of us ride past the homeless person on a corner. Like how do we, you know, well, I can't say we because I do it all the time. Y'all know I don't mind my business. I'm calling the police for people. I'm jumping in people's relationships. I just do it all. But when do we just do better? Because right now we're in times where it's hard. I know there's been times where I may have needed assistance. I may have needed help. My friends, have helped me and family have helped me too. Like we're really in a time right now that I feel like a lot of the stuff that's going on with the government and different things, like us as Black people, I feel like we need to wake up and start
Mm-hmm.
to be there and be one another's support. For instance, for me, who am I to give stuff away? But I give everything away. But the things that I know that were in my cabinet that I'm just not going to eat, like, girl, why do you just have a can of sauerkraut? When do you ever just open a can of sauerkraut? Um, I put the things that I was like, this is not it. I take them and I put them in the building. I cleaned out like one of my closets, right? And I had a lamp. I put the lamp in the hallway. So I'm actually the one who started that in this building, like putting stuff there and letting people, because it's like you just never know who around you, may need it. You don't know what's going on in everybody's house,
Right.
and it's like, what do we need to really start being there for one another. And I'm not saying, be there for all people, but for y'all who are on your Black Panther, Dr. Umar, if you only want to be there for the Negro community, then you do that, right? But we're just in a time where support and just being there, loving on one another is necessary. I feel like love, unity is the only thing that can really solve this issue that's at hand right now.
And you want to know why it ain't like that though?
Why?
Because the mainstream media that's in front of us is set to show us everything but that. And that's the mindset. And that's the mindset. That's the mindset that the majority of us has adopted. The mainstream, the majority of mainstream media teaches us to be selfish, teaches us to be prideful and boastful, and everything on TV and music and media is me, 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 me. Everything is just set to divide so they can conquer. And the majority of us is so stuck and so asleep that we take it as we see it as entertainment, and we don't see it for exactly what it is, which is to keep us under their feet.
Yep.
And it goes everything that
I feel like me itself, I just feel like that's an excuse.
It's not.
No, I get it. I get it. Even I understand why you said that, Candace, but we can't deny that that's definitely a real thing, though. But it is up to us to recognize it and say, hey, this ain't working. We got to get from up underneath of that. And there's a lot of us that's doing that, and there's a lot of us that see that. But that agenda that's been set in place for centuries, it still got such a stronghold on us that it just takes that much more work to get from up underneath of it. But that's definitely a real thing, though.
Think about this past weekend. Everything that happened at Drew Hill Park, we've only shown the negative. Now, one time,
exactly. Facts, Andre. And that's what everything.
Drew Hill Park. Not one time was the talk positive, was the scream. Everything was the negative. Why?
And that's what everything. They do that with everything. They always highlight the negative.
About the negative. And that's why Baltimore is stuck where we stuck at, because every time they bring, it's the negative being shown. It's the negative thing being talked about. Nothing positive being talked about Baltimore. Baltimore has so much history.
It'd be a lot of good stuff going on. They don't put that on the news, though.
You're talking about the negative things that's coming out of Baltimore. None of the stuff is being displayed. Or to
okay. So with that, if we talk about Baltimore, if we're talking about that specifically, when do Baltimore support Baltimore then? Because Baltimore does have some creative people. Baltimore does have, good businesses out here. Baltimore does have that history, but Baltimore don't always support Baltimore. Baltimore, there's the hatred there and things like that, and the lack thereof the support. But for the reason why I say, for me, I feel like it's an excuse. I'm not saying that I don't think that there's an agenda and I don't think that there's a system. I don't know. Like, me and my friend talk about that often. We have two different outlooks on that. because I feel like just because there's an agenda there doesn't mean you have to follow it.
No, absolutely.
It's not
And when
about following it.
Absolutely.
and
It's
when I
about
say
the
that, it's
control of it,
because
though.
and when I
It's
say that, it's
control.
because of the simple fact that um we we not speaking about people who down in the gutter that ain't gonna come out and things like that. But back to like the conversation too, it goes back to you knowing, you know right from wrong. And if you say nothing, I will tell you guys, there's a lot of stuff positive on the internet. And I understand that these people have created these algorithms, it's to learn you and to know you to see what you like. If you are getting a bunch of chaos on your feed all the time, that's showing you what you're looking at. If you have nothing but positivity and all of that, it shows you what you're looking at. Here we are right here. I was in the car to pass the one day, and I had got on I like to listen to the little people do the skits on TikTok. And I opened up my TikTok while we were together, and all these people were cursing like crazy on TikTok. And she said, "What in the world? Why is all these people cursing on your TikTok? Like, oh my God, your TikTok are the crazy." Now she stays on TikTok. And when she opened her TikTok, the only thing that was on her TikTok was church stuff and food recipes and like funny family videos and things to buy, right? She
Mhm.
never gets that part of TikTok. And if there is a time where TikTok and social media will try to throw something like that in your algorithm, you can change that. And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know. Some this one you sent me one of them videos, and then that craziness popped up on my thing." She said, "I was like, I cleared all that. I cleared that all out. Got away from that, and now my stuff is back." So, um, it goes to what your picture. It's going to go off of what piques your interest, right? Because you don't know what's on the internet a lot of times if you're not looking, right? So it's just like little ads. I don't get a lot of that. Negativity, seeing them push all this negative stuff, because I'm not in the negativity lane all day on social
That's
media.
my point. Most of us are. It's only a small percentage of us that's not, you feel me? Like what you just said, it's only a small percentage though. The majority is stuck under that spell. That's the whole thing. That's why I say I do get why you say you think it's an excuse. I definitely understand that because at some point it has to be an awakening, which it is, but it's still in a small percentage when you're talking about the bigger picture.
I think that seriously, I really think they done blinded us so horribly that even what we think ain't even real, to be honest with you. I think because they always
So our
pushing the
thoughts ain't even
negativity
our
in
thoughts.
the news, when you think about the type of people you being around, you've seen and met people that's not even around people you be around all the time. You get what I'm saying? You get people that might be in a whole different space of folks that ain't even really negative at all.
Mhm.
We don't know that because maybe we only speaking on our experience of people we know. And
Right.
if they're always pushing to you that everything about us is negative, 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 really, if we swap this would be looking crazy on the news.
Mhm,
Okay, if we swap
mhm,
this, because see, everything they feed about us is lies. It's lies.
mhm.
It's not that it don't exist, but if we had to put up 50 news stories about black on black crime and white on white crime, the crime is going to look crazy on white. But
Yep,
they're
because
not
it
going to ever
definitely
show you
exists.
that.
They
So
don't
that's,
push it
you know what
though.
they got us thinking? Oh, even we thinking this is all we do.
Yep,
Mhm.
When it ain't
exactly.
real, it's not
Cause
true.
them peoples be whacking the crap out each other, but you
Out of
don't see that in
everybody.
the news like that.
Everybody in every type of way too. That's what's
Yeah,
the crazy thing. See, they will
yeah.
bring up black on black crime, but they be murdering. They still out here pillaging. They still out here doing all of these things, and they could do all of this while telling you over there killing your brother.
But you know what's crazy though about that too, Tremanda?
What's
It's
that?
so crazy that how did the term black on black crime become a thing, but white on white
That
crime not even a real
don't
term?
even exist. Don't even exist. And
That's
I
part
bet
of the
you, if
programming.
you could go through all of these states and just look at how much murder happened today, the number of white people killing other white people is going to outstand what the black people do
Yep,
all day,
sure enough.
every day. But they're
Sure
not going
enough.
to ever show
They
you
not
that
gonna put
because
that
they
out there
show
though.
us in a certain light in
Yep,
everything. They show us in a certain light in everything. We know
yep,
it's a fact that there's more white people on social service than black. But if
yep,
you had to go off of everything you ever known, everything you was ever shown, everything you was feel like you taught almost, you would
yep,
never think that.
yep,
Because
But
but
if
just
they showed them in the same light as us, that would be looking different on TV.
but
yep.
majority of school bombers, your serial bombers were
Killers, the
Caucasian,
pedophiles, all of them.
Caucasian
Come
men,
on.
but they don't want to speak about
Exactly. I be feeling
Yep.
like we probably would have already got over the whole slavery situation, but they are always doing something to keep adding on to
that.
years of other stuff.
Hey Candace, do you remember? I don't know if you remember a long time ago, like what your man just said. You don't remember me saying that I find it real crazy for people to keep saying, "Oh, well, y'all need to get over it." But how do I get over it if you keep
Yeah.
doing things to
If you
remind me?
keep doing something else,
You keep
come
reminding
on,
me.
for God's sake.
Yeah.
They proving it
Yeah.
to you
Yeah.
in the
I remember.
claim
Yeah,
that
I
took
remember
slavery
that.
out of the Constitution. Come on.
Yeah, I
These
do.
people don't
I do
even get
remember
rid of
that.
the old wording. Like, really, they need to stop it.
And what's even crazier is because I ain't a racist for a long shot. I hate
Yeah.
it so
That's what.
bad
That's the
because
first thing most racists say.
no, but look, yeah. Stop! Don't make me laugh because you're gonna make me forget what I was gonna say. But I hate it because the way that they doing these things and like case in point, Carmelo Anthony,
Yeah.
situations like that. They do stuff like that to kind of sort of want to bring the rage right back, like, oh, these
Mhm.
people. But I hate to even think like that because I'm
Yeah.
not no racist person.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
And I'm
because
saying,
I
like,
try my best.
seriously,
I try my best to see things through God lens, so I won't get caught up in how the world is acting and
yeah,
how the world makes me wants me to react to everything. Even though
yeah,
I'm not gonna get out of touch with what's going on down here, but I try my best to
Yeah.
try to see everything through God's lens versus the world's lens because
yeah.
it's tough, man.
It's
Because them
tricky.
people,
You'll
It's
get
tricky.
stuck. I remember like there was
It's
times where
tricky.
I didn't even like I don't really look at the news. And it is like you can get stuck in it. And that's funny because I was reading that in my scripture today. where where it says that like don't conform to the ways of the world. Don't be discouraged and conform to what you see.
yeah, man,
Keep your eye ahead, like Andre said earlier. We got to keep our minds focused ahead, but you on the future. But you also got to keep your eye on the Lord. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that can be very challenging and difficult to do when you see different things that's occurring in life, kids being abused, murdering, children,
absolutely,
and things like that. So it's okay to play peekaboo. Like I'll come up and play peekaboo, but after a while, I have to get back under the rock because it is so much going on that
hmm
it could make you be like, man, it ain't no hope. Let me just give up. Let me not do,
yeah.
things like that. So that's why, you know, if we don't like what's going on in our universe, you can change your universe. You know, you have
Right.
to
I mean, you
you
only could do what you could do. That's why you have to be like. I feel like we've been given like morality. I think it's really just instilled in us. The people who have it. Like I don't care what race you is. If you have morality, you do. I think it's
Right.
Right,
instilled.
right.
When
Right.
you are living and moving and living your life by that, it's not too much that hopefully could conquer you as a person. Okay.
Mhm.
I do feel like everything out here is distraction and everything out here is meant for bad. There's so much stuff meant for bad that's enticing. It is
Yep.
going to try to entice you into all types of things in life.
Absolutely.
Out here to do that. And the
Yeah.
minute that you step off of using your morality and living by your morality, you have already like gave up a part of
Because I'm
yourself.
going on a casting couch.
Absolutely.
Now, you ain't going on no damn casting couch because I'm coming to get you. But
Oh, girl,
Yeah,
I'm
tell
like,
her
girl, just
again.
stand there, be my
Even
bodyguard,
all of
listen
that,
out.
I'm serious.
Tell her
When y'all
again.
look at all of those things though and see how much evil do exist around things, you could be struggling, period, mentally, financially, any of these things. Do you know how many things will make you you see all these girls that be out here probably doing what you called it earlier, the what's the page? The something page.
Oh, the
Oh,
Um
OnlyFans.
the OnlyFans. And that's because it's enticing because of money. You see
Absolutely,
all
Yeah.
of
girl.
these
Because
like,
listen, 1999,
money
let you
is
see something thick
enticing,
with
but
a big
money
behind.
be meant for evil, girl. It be meant for evil. It be you gotta know what you doing with your soul. You don't sell your soul for a buck because then you
Girl,
might can't
listen.
get it back. You might
Well,
can't get it back.
on that note, with the not selling the soul for the buck, you
Not
guys
for that.
share the show. Be kind to share the show. Make sure you can
Share the
make
show
sure
like
you
you share that butt.
yeah, share the
No.
show. Also, if you want to send any stars, sharing is caring. Or if you want to send a donation, on the website or through Cash App, your girl is trying. We got to get some equipment in the table in here. And I don't usually ask, but I'm asking, okay? Because closed mouths don't get fed. If you want me to keep my legs closed and not pop this thing for a fan,
Oh
you're gonna
my
have to
God. It's on my
bring me
nerves
the
so bad.
money in my hand. But no, you guys just share the show. If you're on YouTube, make sure you give a heart and a thumbs up, say hello. Thank you guys for all the engagement. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, contribute, share the show. We have equipment to buy, we have things to get. And I'm here. I say it all the time, but I am getting things together. If you are on Patreon, they just combined the profiles where you can have one profile. So I did go and I fixed all of that. And I'm going to just be putting more things just on Patreon. So I do want to shout out to everybody who is still a Patreon member, who are just supporting me. I truly appreciate you guys. You guys who joined in tonight, you guys who joined in last week, you guys who just keep showing up from sharing the show, donations, whether it's a place you want me to review and things like that. I truly appreciate you guys joining in on the conversation. So go ahead. Let's go ahead and
Well, I
finish
had a
this
fun
out.
show. This was fun. This was fun. All
What
right.
else you guys gonna say?
I ain't. No, I'm done because we'll be all night.
Now y'all want to leave it. I gave my
Well,
little.
I
No,
enjoyed the
I
show.
thought you was wrapping up.
What's
I
her
was
name?
great.
What's the other
I'm
person
here.
on the phone? Andre
But
and who?
Andre there?
I'm here.
So
Yeah,
Andre,
I'm
Amen.
here.
No, what's
really
her
quick.
name? What's her name? Madria? What you say that name was? What's your name?
Who?
The
Who?
other woman on the line.
No, it's me and you. Andre is a man, girl.
No, it's a woman too on here.
Ain't no girl on here, Tremaine. You the only girl on
You
here.
the only girl. So
It's
listen,
me, you, and somebody else. It's
Uh,
Andre
Andre,
and somebody else. Who is the other person?
what are you
it's
talking about?
me, you, and Andre.
Yeah, so Andre, I wanted to piggyback with something else that you said, right? When you said you've seen it, like the product of it, of the whole bunch of people popping out all the babies and enabling people. What was that like?
Because I have a aunt, all right, and I stayed. She was maybe 15, and
So this is Andre right here.
she started
Yeah.
having children, and
Uh-huh.
she caught a CPS case.
Okay.
And the first baby was taken, and not even a year later, number two came, and number two was
Okay.
taken, and number three was taken, and it just went down to baby, almost down to baby six when she finally was able to take care of child on her own. But the thing
Okay.
is, the family took on that burden and enabled this to keep happening. Nobody put no type of stop to, let's say, the madness.
Okay.
Okay. And at some point, those children ended up in my home. And
Okay.
I ended up raising them children. me and my mother. So,
Right.
like I said, I saw what this can happen when something is just not going to stop to you. She
Okay.
had no type of maternal instinct of just like, I'm having a baby and that's it.
But how do you
Okay.
put a stop to it though?
You can't.
You can't if
Right,
you
that's the
broken.
thing. You can't. Like that's the
Honestly, you
craziest
just
thing
can't.
about it.
It's not like
You
you can
can't,
quit
Hey,
but not
girl, Snake girl,
having
you
it.
good, girl.
huh?
Yeah, a
Oh, I was
person that's
saying hi
broken.
to Samara. Oh, okay, because I had wanted to know. I was like, oh, okay, what was that? Because I know we didn't get to double back on that. Um, but what else? So covered the society. Y'all feel like the government is pushing an agenda. So let me ask you guys that are here, what shows up on your timeline?
I listen to all the horrible stuff on the planet. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like I'm not a real drama person, but I listen to a lot of crime stuff, and I
Okay.
listen to a lot of what you call it. I listen to a lot of court case stuff too. You, but when I'm listening to these things, I'm still thinking worse than like I'm so past surface level that it's crazy because I'm looking at like how this is all going down and
Right.
how this portrays in real people's lives. I'm not looking at, oh, this is just gossip. Oh my God. When I'm looking at this, it's like, oh my God, it is really people out here that will portray this, and this to innocent folks who was walking into this or
Right.
any of this. Like I'm looking at it way deeper than what it is just speaking of. So I think all of those things make it make a difference because it's still like even if you listening to crazy don't mean you're into the crazy.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
true,
you
true,
listening to crazy and getting something totally different out of it than somebody who is a surface level thinker. You get
true.
what I'm saying? If you a surface level thinker, you gonna be like, oh, she popped her, this, that, and the third. You think a little deeper than that. You trying to figure out why she popped her and what's going on with her to make her this deep into going out there like that.
True.
And we
And
try
you
to,
might be looking at that into other people like this look like behavior I seen.
Hmm.
So
we try
Samara said
to,
reality TV, podcast, church services, and comedians. Okay, that's what's on yours.
Oh, Sonara in here. What's up,
Yeah,
Slowpoke?
she said, hey, you guys, she was a little late because her best friend came in from Virginia. Shout out to Virginia.
Mhm.
Or as
Slowpoke.
the ghetto people say, Virginia.
That's what it is.
Andre, what's on your feed?
so, um, it's a mixture. It's a mixture. And I mean,
Okay, so
it's a mixture.
tell me
Like,
the mixture. Don't try to be cute
not
now.
some of these stuff. I need to laugh. Sometimes you gotta laugh so you don't cry and go bazonkers. So, ain't that's gonna make me laugh? Yeah, that's gonna show up because I need a good laugh for the day. But
So what does your
so,
so listen, Andre? See, Andre being just like a man. Andre, I said, what is on your
So
timeline?
okay, if that's Andre, what's the other voice? Who is that?
I said some things to make you laugh.
Oh, so the
No,
things
I'm
that
saying I know this is Andre, but who is the other voice that's on
Oh,
here?
it's me, CJ.
CJ.
CJ. Okay, so CJ and Andre. Okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm like, shit, I hear somebody else's voice. Like what?
Oh yeah, no, that's CJ. Okay,
Let's see.
so
A lot of my stuff is like because I craft, and so a lot of my stuff come up is through my crafting groups.
there we go. Now you answering the
Stuff like
question.
that.
Okay.
So, but I need a laugh in between because yeah, when other stuff come up, it's like yeah, I'm ready to fight somebody because yeah, my skin boiling. But
So what about you, Mr. CJ? When you're on
Uh,
social media, what's on your feed?
oh yeah, well, I like a lot of goofy stuff. So I got a bunch of funny people on my page. Funny people. I'm in the cuz a lot. So I got a lot of cuz content on there and finances. That's all. That's all the majority.
As you can see, and Benita says she has comedy and autism awareness and things. So this is what I'm saying. So all of us are on here, and you can see how some of us dibble and dabble in some of the things, and then that. So how how do you get a bunch of negativity on your feed if you aren't on the negativity, CJ and Andre, when you guys say, "Oh, ain't nothing but a bunch of negativity
Because
online"?
think about
Where
it.
are you?
Fox
I
Where
45,
think,
are you?
Jay-Z, that pops up normally on your feed.
yeah,
So
some stuff
that is just local
stuff
coming
will
up.
pop up by itself. It just takes for you to keep entertaining it for them to
Exactly. Yeah,
for them to pick up and be like, oh, all right, you like this. Let's feed you some more. Because if
right.
they gonna
But I
throw you
mean,
stuff
like, how isn't
regardless,
they even trying to watch your algorithm to feed you stuff?
yeah,
Like, seriously.
they'll
I
throw
mean, I
stuff
definitely
at
wait a
you
minute though,
regardless.
because I definitely get that. But hold on, because if you think about it, right? They now we know that they may have whatever reason it is that they do it. But when you think about it, right? Social media is a place where someone came up with this idea and they make money from it. So you
Mhm.
have to you can in order to keep it going and growing and you keep people on it and engaging, you
Social
have to
experiment.
know what people are liking. So to me, that goes just like with my show. You
Mhm.
had I would like when before when I'm trying we used to try to figure out my audience, do all of these. So these are things that comes along with it. I think that that's just the platform of how social media and the entertainment industry works in general. But 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 I do think that they may have a different reason for why they could possibly do it. But that's how social media is. And it's not like they're giving you something on purpose. They're giving you what you're interested in. Like I've been getting my hair braided for the last couples, I don't know, however. Nothing on my page but a bunch of dog videos, comedy, and hair. You know what I mean? When I go down Ratchet Land, which is usually more TikTok, I can open my TikTok up and it's gonna be nothing but Ratchet Land on TikTok.
But you know what's crazy about that, even still? Like, because the only thing I'm going to say to you about that is, a
But I
lot of
have
times,
a lot of positive stuff on my page as well.
okay. 'Cause
I
I
have a lot.
got a little bit of everything, but I do feel like, like it's an issue that they do watch your algorithm. I'm sorry to say. I feel like that
Okay.
because why would they try to feed you anything? Just let it be natural. Why are they feeding you things? And the
Just like
crazy
we
thing
talked
for
about earlier.
yes. But so I'm
Yep.
saying, like, if they could feed you something and it captured you, because it might be something shocking. It might be something you never know what you might come across that might make you pause there, and you don't even know why you paused there. This might not be your natural, but if you do go and look into whatever this is, because it's a one-time thing, now they're flooding you with that.
Yep, that's how it works.
Okay, that's
That's literally how it
intentional.
works.
That's intentional. Why are you flooding me with this? I looked at this one video. Now you flooding me with 50 things that mean this.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
And see, a
literally
lot of
how it
times
works.
people might not even understand or see that this is on purpose.
That's literally how it works.
This is on purpose. So now you're flooded with that.
You ever
You don't
notice
even
how
get why
you
you down the rabbit hole.
yeah, you notice
Like
how
that.
even if you on the internet just searching something or just something on a regular internet and then you go to one of your social media
Yep.
platforms and you
Right
start
there.
seeing a bunch of that.
Yep.
You could be having a whole conversation with a person on a phone. When you
Yep.
get off, you get on the internet, they talking about what you was talking to the
Yep.
person about.
Yep.
If that's not trying to pinhole you into something, why they doing that?
Mm-hmm.
What is that
So,
for? And I get, and the only reason I'm gonna say this part is because I know when you be into social media and you are an influencer, of course you want like people to come to your algorithm, all of this. I still even think sometimes that stuff is a mind thing or whatever, because like literally, even though you want people to come to your algorithm, really, the
Mhm.
stuff they flooding you with is probably something different than what you even speaking about, to
Hmm.
be honest with you. They might be flooding you with something totally different for real. I get flooded with, but I'm paying attention. I am so woke that is crazy. I pay attention to everything. I know when I get off the phone talking to my daughter, and we was having this whole conversation for an hour about this, and now I'm going on social media, and they showing me 50 commercials about the conversation.
Yeah, because advertisements is really, really big these days. It's a lot of money in the advertising
All of it is
industry.
to trick your mind. All of it is to trick your mind. Like seriously, if we don't see nothing and everything that they kind of really showing us, they is trying to dumb everything down. I'm
Mhm.
so sorry to say they really dumbing everything down.
Yeah.
They trying to erase history about every single thing. And seriously, if you're not woke enough,
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna drown under this.
And that's
You're
even
going to drown
local
under
news.
it.
Every day is something negative on the local news. There's nothing.
Yes. And it's about
Well,
us. Why
the
is
news
that?
is called the news.
Why
You know,
is that?
because
But they told you television. The
yeah,
Muslims said television. They say they lie all day.
yeah.
So, and it's the truth though. They do. If they control everything, they run everything, they could point everything towards making these things negative. This is why you can't be sleeping on this stuff. If it's like that all the stuff they feeding you about us is black on black crime. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing that? Pay attention seriously.
Because we honestly,
Seriously.
we look like monkeys and animals when they see the fights. And what do? You go to Drew Hill Park and give them what they're expecting. We give them what
Right.
they're
But they
expecting.
looking for that.
They expecting. We looking for this. It's going to
They
be a fight. I
looking
think.
for that. I mean, if you was at Drew Hill Park, and I'm serious, if it was a 6 hour event and 5 hours was good hours and something jumped off at the 6 hour, why are we not seeing any part of the
Nope.
5 hours?
Nope.
If that's not on
And
purpose, come on,
everybody talking right.
come on. Like all of it is on purpose. Like
Mhm.
serious. When you
Well,
really look at it,
you guys,
everything is on purpose.
well,
It
you
just
guys,
And
takes
we
on
just
that
more
ain't
of it.
thinking,
It
on
just
that
we
takes
note,
gotta
you
tell people
guys,
of
and on that note, you guys, wake up, everybody.
yeah,
No
but
more
you done got people
sleeping
on
in
my
bed.
conversation, okay?
Ah,
Yeah,
I
we
just
getting
love
the
how
hell
y'all
out
just
of
be
here.
rambling and y'all just be going and y'all be going and y'all be going. I truly appreciate you
We
guys
ain't
tonight.
rambling. What we saying is true.
No, I
We
know. I'm talking about like
ain't
I like how y'all just take over and I can just sit back here and just listen. Um,
listen. We
I
gonna have
truly
your
appreciate
ass Louis Farrakhan in the 2 seconds, okay?
girl, listen, because we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on yacht. You feel me? And if you ask me, I don't know where Plymouth Rock landed. I just go with it. So
Listen. Just
but
got on the
yeah,
phone. That's all.
thank you guys for joining in tonight. We are
Hey,
going to pick up
CJ and
you guys, this week and last week, we have hit 2 hours and 30 minutes. And this is why I say, everybody used to say, oh, only do the show for 30 minutes, only do it for an hour.
oh, you
Nobody's
guys
going to
know
stay for an
that.
hour. Nobody's going to do this. And I'm just appreciative that tonight
Yeah.
you guys did. You guys stayed
Okay.
long. You left and
You
came
gonna
back.
stay.
And I appreciate that because I believe that people watch what they want to. So,
Yes, they will.
facts. Absolutely.
All right, Candace,
and,
I'm gonna call you back.
all right, you
Thank you
guys.
guys. I
Thank you
appreciate
guys for
everybody. I
joining.
like that I had
Thank
a
you
conversation.
guys.
Likewise. Likewise.
All right. And you guys, on that note, this was a great show. Make sure you share the show. Give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. Follow me on all platforms. And join us next week. And thank you for that. And if you're watching the show after it and hit replay, we had all kinds of topics tonight. I didn't even get to talk about what went on my 30-day, my first week of my focus. But we'll get into that. So hopefully there'll be more that comes with that next week. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching tonight. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.